let the alluring voice fool you. I'm a lethal killing machine.
Always believed in freedom of the press.
Excellent work. Quit now, and cake will be served.
I mean, who doesn't enjoy cake? I am the instrument of justice, and I cannot fall.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 64 of Gamestack podcast. It's called Damestack. What? Shalene, how are you doing?
I am great. How are you, Vendor?
I'm doing good. It's not just about us. We got a whole bunch of people here.
You can't guess who we are.
I am your.
It's like the Brady Bunch up here.
I am your host, Vendertron. Joining us this evening are our co-hosts, Shalene.
Hello.
And Rick McVick.
Hi.
But also the lovely ladies of Damestack. I mean, Dames Who Game. What? I'm never going to get used to that. We have Sarsailor. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
And Sarah.
Hi, thanks for having me too.
Also, Fox Sid. Hello.
Yeah, it's very cool to be here.
And Pantagrulia. Welcome, welcome. Look at those glasses. They're just fabulous.
Hello. Feeling fabulous and fashionable.
And last but certainly not least, Sleep is for tea. Welcome.
Howdy, everybody. Good to be here.
So how are you guys doing? How's your week been? Oh my gosh, I can't believe we're all here. And the stream is actually, like, working. It isn't a trash fire.
It's holding up under the weight of all this greatness we have on the show.
Yes,
tonight.
lots of duct tape, you know. Takes a blowtorch to look this beautiful, but...
I want to say that I'm impressed with all of the Fallout swag. Like, especially the stuff I didn't even know you could get. Like, I think Foxy, you have a Red Rocket on. Yeah. Like a Red Rocket hoodie.
Love it.
You had like the cool sunglasses on. It's
This is a onesie.
It's a onesie.
It's magnificent.
Red Rocket overalls.
I get claustrophobic in a onesie.
Oh my
Nice.
gosh, that is so brilliant. So brilliant.
Too good.
How's your guys' weeks been? Like,
It's
has it
been a
been...
week, man.
Yeah,
It's been a week.
Yeah.
I think for everyone it's been a week.
Yeah.
We're all just kind of like, yeah, you know, I just can't talk about it.
Well, I was laid off from my job, and then I wasn't laid off from my job, so
Oh.
I don't know.
What a roller coaster of a week.
So what
It
you're
has
telling
been
me...
interesting.
So what you're telling me is if you don't go into work, you won't get in trouble.
Maybe I don't know, but they won't pay my bills, so
Free day off, maybe? Huh, that's
Well,
weird.
it's a 3-day weekend for some of us.
Is it?
Yes.
kind of.
Yeah,
Oh,
for
so
in
nice.
America, it's a 3-day weekend.
Yeah. Well,
Mm.
I work Sunday, and then I'm off on Monday.
Oh.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it is
So
what
it's
it is.
it's a 3-day weekend for me.
For you, for
Yeah.
my
High
husband.
five, Rick. Wrong way, wrong way.
Oh, yeah. How do you...
I
you.
don't know
Oh
where I'm
wait,
at.
I was
No,
looking
you,
at the top.
over there.
I was
The
looking at the
problem
top.
is
Okay.
it's all discombobulated and we're making fools of ourselves.
What's new?
That's true. Yeah. Oh, by the way, I don't know if it's true, but I've seen on Reddit there's a waste management dumpster that actually has a candle in it.
Yes, I've seen that. It's
And I want it.
like the official We Just Love Games candle. I hope it's scented like garbage.
Ugh.
What?
Ugh. No, I mean vanilla at least. Vanilla le vomit.
Oh, de garbage.
The musk of our enemies. Mm.
Axe body spray.
Yeah.
Yeah, that it would just catch on fire.
Xbox shampoo.
It can. Well, if it's Axe body spray, it can actually kill me.
Oh, jeez.
Literally.
You had an incident this week, didn't you?
I did. Well, it was last week, but yeah, I'm allergic to one of my coworkers.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Mhm.
And now there's signs everywhere in the office, you know?
He swears that he was not wearing anything, and I'm like, dude, until you walked past me, I was fine. But I was
Oh,
like all
no.
broke out in hives and everything, and I'm like,
It's
just
funny
leave,
how
just go
just
away.
certain scents, you know, can
Yeah,
trigger
yeah.
people, yeah.
Yeah, sorry. My mind kicked over like most things do. I thought of the Family Guy bit where they used Axe body spray, and then just like a bunch of like mangy dying cats started like crawling all over me. It's like, oh no.
They love it.
Well, you guys remember the old Axe body spray commercials where it's like the Axe effect? I can tell you it is real, but it will kill you.
So the axe is an actual weapon for you. It is.
It can be literally axed to death.
Is that now? I wonder if that's like chemical warfare. Is he against the Geneva Convention codes? He might be.
Yeah, he's violating the Geneva Convention.
Call Switzerland. Get him arrested by the UN, or at least to get an angry letter from the UN.
Wow.
I love it.
Well, hello to everybody in our chat coming in too. It's lovely to have all of you
It's
beautiful
a lot of
people here. Yes. And Shalene, what's on the docket today?
Well, first, before we get started, do you want to give us an update on our COVID charity?
Oh,
drive?
sure. Excuse me. I would love to. I've been streaming a heck of a lot this past week in my off time, trying to bring in donations for the In It Together COVID-19 Relief Fund. As you guys know, WJLG is sponsoring this event in partnership with Direct Relief, and we are raising funds to put PPE, personal protective equipment, on frontline healthcare providers all over the world. And it's really important to be able to do this because, as you know, there's a shortage of PPE all over the place. And, you know, it's about $15 or $20 US to dress a healthcare worker for the duration of their shift, which, as you know, will save their life, but not only theirs, the patients that they interact with as well, and to stop the spread of COVID-19 in our hospitals and our ICUs. To date, we have raised $2,629.69 towards the cause, which is absolutely amazing. We have a goal of $5,000, but I'm almost certain that we're going to break right through that and keep on going. And it's not a 24-hour thing. We're not doing a marathon thing like Extra Life like we usually do. This is an ongoing initiative for as long as we are fighting this pandemic globally, and our societies continue to suffer and we continue to be burdened by this disease. So if you would like to donate, all you need to do is scroll down right below Rick there in the Twitch page, the link to our Tiltify donation site. You can donate via credit card or PayPal. If you are listening to the show in the off hours and not live, you can also just navigate to our Twitch page or find our social media, and we'll be able to provide you the link at any time. So, and we also want to thank everybody who contributed to the cause so far. Many of you have donated anonymously, but many have also donated and left little heartwarming messages with their donations and things. So thank you for that.
Lovely.
Yes,
thank you very much for that update, vendor. And I will also mention that if you are in a position where you cannot contribute, it is just as much help to spread the word. You know, post this on your social media, share it out. It's just as big a help for us if you share.
Indeed.
Yes.
So, everybody, if you're watching live, host us on Twitch, tell your friends, help the show grow. We are really excited to be having this crossover episode of Gamestack and Dames Who Game. For me, it's a little surreal seeing worlds collide. It's
like Happy Days and my head just
Brady Bunch.
No, not the
Johnny
Brady
loves
Bunch.
Chachi?
No, the Mork and Mindy. It's like Happy Days and Mork and Mindy.
Nanu?
Yes, yeah, I just couldn't think of the Mork and Mindy.
Yes.
That was not as smooth as I had hoped. It was almost like we just jumped the shark with that one.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. But you know what? Jumping the shark is a little bit of foreshadowing into some of our new releases, our new video game releases that will be happening later. I think so. It may be already out, so I might have blown that. But guys, we are here. We are very excited. Is that okay? Everything okay?
Something happened?
What happened?
What happened?
Okay. There were some things happening over here on the stream. It's okay?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
Everything's fine.
Okay,
Looks lovely.
So,
just decided to stop working.
Pardon.
Shalene.exe is having a malfunction.
We would like to welcome some new people to our Discord server, as we do every week, just to shake things up a little bit. Rick, why don't you welcome these new people?
Okay, so first of all, thank you, Spartacus PKK. Welcome to the Discord. Ash DZ, welcome. Foxit, who I think is here too. You're just everywhere.
Hello.
Yeah. So welcome. I think we shouted you out before. Sonic 113 and Bit Trash Riot. Wasn't he already?
Repeat
no,
offender?
Right, he was no. No, he wasn't in. Yeah,
I
that's
think
right.
he
was
was
recently.
in for a while.
I think
but
he's coming back from the corner of shame.
I don't. Yeah, I don't know if he was in the corner of shame or if something else happened, but I think he was in the Discord before.
Are we saying salty language alert?
Yeah,
yeah.
This is the same
possible,
person in corner of shame about like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have that.
That's why your name's up there twice.
It's becoming a repeating.
Well, it happens to the best of us.
It's
He
a
just
right
has to
it's
learn
a
to
rite
watch his
of
French.
Yeah, it's like a rite of passage when you come in.
Mhm.
You know, you accidentally slip that F-bomb and then
Oh, yeah.
and then you're out and you're
I know
trying to
that.
find somebody to send you another invite and
Yes.
it's just
I
people have
love
made
it. I love getting like the embarrassed message afterwards, like, "Hey,
hey,
got kicked from the
sorry.
Discord."
Meanwhile,
Well, I would
like
say that.
I want to try it. What happens?
Those limits. Let's do it.
Well, there's a trap door that opens, and you fall through the trap door into a pit of flames. So,
Oh, there's not a rancor down there or something?
Yeah. No, it's just EchoBot. It's
sharks
just, that's all
sharks
that's
with
down
laser
there.
beams.
yeah.
Fight EchoBot. But we're gonna lose like 50 Discordians in like the next week because everyone's gonna be like,
I want to be on the wall of shame.
You know,
Well, I always say that.
we should do that. We need to figure out how to have like a wall of shame somewhere in this. Discord.
Oh, that would be so
That
great.
would be
Okay,
great.
we're planning the show on the show. So let's move on to the show. We are going to go through some news. We're going to talk about the games we've been playing. But before we do any of that, I thought it might be nice to get to know the Dames because, you know, you're our guests here and we'd like to just kind of get to know you. So I thought we could go round robin and have everybody tell us your earliest gaming memory. So let's start with you, Sarah.
No pressure.
Sorry, I'm having technical difficulties over here, y'all. Whew. Hey, okay, so hi. Video games were a thing in my house before I was there, before I was born. So my earliest video game memory is probably playing the original Mario with my older brother. He was 8 years older than me, and he would hand me the second player controller because, you know, younger sister, that's what I get. And he would play the entire game without dying just to make me mad.
Wow.
So I'd be
Because
waiting
you
for
never
my
got a turn.
Yeah, waiting for my turn. And he's just going through all the levels. And so eventually I would just give up and just throw the controller on the ground and walk away. So actually, now that I'm older, those are some really amazing memories. They're some of my favorites. So yeah, I've just been kind of playing games forever.
And so if I could just like throw in a follow-up question, how has it changed you to like the person you are today? Like
How has it
did playing
changed
games
me?
when you were younger influence who you are today? I mean, the answer for most of us is probably yes. But
I mean,
how much of an impact would you say that it's had on your life?
it's my escape, right? So we all have that thing that we do to unwind, a way to get away from the hard parts of our lives. And that's what gaming has always been for me. It's always been a way to escape in another world. I love exploring new places. I love talking to all the different characters and really digging in and hearing their stories and just getting lost in another world. I mean, so I think if I didn't have gaming, I honestly don't know what I would do. Isn't that so weird to say about video games? But it's so true.
Yeah,
Yes,
quote unquote.
It's such a part of our lives, you know. I think that's the case for all of us here. Jess, what's your earliest gaming memory?
Well, my earliest is probably sitting with my dad with our TRS-80 Coco color computer. This is like early to mid 80s, and typing in code from the back of a magazine to try to be able to play pinball together. And it was a project of a couple days, and it was messy. And the ball kept going
Nice.
through the flippers because we probably got some line wrong. But that's probably my earliest memory, was doing that. And then,
Wow.
hitting school and discovering where in the world is Carmen Sandiego. And that's probably my other
Yes.
first favorite game besides the RPG.
Wow.
Yeah.
You took me back a ways with that one.
Nice.
Forgot about
I
that
liked
game.
Vendor's follow-up question, and I think we're gonna make it official part of the introduction question here. What did it mean to you? How did that affect you?
Talking about programming with my father.
Mhm.
Oh gosh, so much. That's one of the reasons why I think I loved games, because he loved computers and games. He learned to build them, so I learned to build them. We played stuff together, so when he wasn't there, that's what I did too. It was a bonding experience for us, and it was something that kind of was the formation of who I became. Not many girls really get into the whole RPG D&D games in middle school and stuff, but I did, because that's what Dad and his friends did. And sometimes he would DM for us, and so it just kind of, it was the foundation, very important to my relationship with him and my relationship with games.
Lovely. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Yeah.
Sherry, tell us one of your earliest gaming memories.
Okay, way back when I had a Macintosh, big beige box, and
Like a Macintosh 2?
no, not one of the combined ones. It was one of the ones I bought myself. I got a bank loan and I bought it.
A bank
It
loan?
was like,
Oh my God.
Wow, those were the days, hey?
yeah, and it was the monitor, the keyboard, the big beige box, and everything. I can't remember what model it was or anything. Don't ask me that. I don't remember. But so my earliest game memory really would be SimCity on that.
Yes.
So that would be somewhere mid-90s somewhere.
Yeah, it
So
was probably around 94, 95, yeah.
Yeah, so I'd play I'd have my Mac in my room, and I'd be playing SimCity, and you know how SimCity is. Sometimes you got to set things in motion, but you can't really micromanage it. You got to just let it live. So I'd set things in motion and go that, and then I'd go have a nap.
Right.
Wake up.
And that was my gaming method. A bit of nap. But nothing's really changed, really.
And how's that affected your life? That early Macintosh with SimCity.
Well, that was really after that. I wasn't really big into games. It was just like SimCity, and then maybe later on The Sims, something like that.
Yeah.
And I never really played games. I had good memories of playing Tomb Raider with my brother one night when we with pizza and getting really scared at the because we were trapped in a cave and the T-Rex was about to get us.
Yeah.
It was in one of those. We were using the PS1, the new little tiny compact PS1.
Yeah.
I had bought that because I was really into the X-Files and I wanted the X-Files game, so I bought the PS1 just for that.
The X-Files game is so good, right?
Yeah. I love the show, but I don't think it's really my type of game.
Yeah, it was tough.
Tomb Raider was really my sort of game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But
Fantastic.
yeah. So that, and I just really wasn't really into games in a big way. I wasn't until about 2011 where I was in between fandoms, so to speak, in between things. And I was really, really bored. And I thought, I'll just try this World of Warcraft is offering 15 days free. Let's try that. And I was really bored and I was unemployed at the time. I had nothing else better to do at the time. I'd already done my searching for job responsibilities.
The rest is history.
Yeah, it hooked me in. It was my gateway drug.
The rest is history.
Wow.
Lovely. Yeah. And Jen, what was one of your earliest gaming memories?
Oh my gosh. So I was thinking about this because thank you for letting me go last. And I can still feel the brown shag rug in the basement of my cousin's place when she got her first Atari. I sat there for so long. My knees had like, you know, when shag carpets
They have the
really
little
rub-
lines in them.
imprints, the
Yeah.
little
I can
imprints.
still feel how sore my knees got from sitting there just playing Pac-Man over and over and over and over. And I totally got sucked in. And it wasn't until the Game Boy came out, little green and black screen one, that I had something of my very own. And getting lost in Super Mario Land was just it sucked me in.
Yeah.
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 And how did those early experiences gaming kind of shape who you are today?
So I've always been a drawer. Like I've always made art and made pictures and stuff. And I was always really amazed at how much detail or how much you could get out of tiny little squares, just kind of being stacked together in little pixels. But then and that was really, really fun and really great. But then a friend of mine, I was at his place and he lives way, way up north, and he set me up on his Xbox and gave me the controller and said, here's this game, it's Morrowind, and I want you to just have some fun, walk around. I think you're gonna love it. So he was gone for like 2 hours and came back, and I hadn't moved from the spot, and he said, so what'd you do? And I said, what do you mean, what did I do? He said, did you do any quests? And I said, I just been chasing these butterflies around and picking flowers for 2 hours. I don't.
It's so pretty, Sarah.
Have you seen the light
like
and
our
the texture on these things? So it's like walking inside someone's painting. That is what I love about like modern games, new games, especially open world games. I just love seeing the things that the artists who made the games have left behind, and the writers who've made the stories have they place these beautiful little jokes or beautiful pieces. I love games for that reason. It's like art appreciation, you know.
That is beautiful. Thank you for sharing that, Jen. And we also have Sarah Saylor. What is your earliest gaming memory?
Okay, so my earliest gaming memory isn't even playing a game. So whenever my family first moved to Kentucky, we moved here from Michigan. My brother Aaron and I saved up money, and we were talking loose change, and went to the Walmart right before a snowstorm hit and paid for our first, it was a Nintendo, just the regular Nintendo, in loose change.
Wow.
that cashier, man, she must have just hated you.
I still hate
there
you.
was
just counting
a
them
shift
all.
change. We had like $50 cash, and that was it. My dad used to be a truck driver, so any like change that he had in his pocket, he would throw in a peanut can. And so we saved a lot of change that way. But yeah, paid for a Nintendo, and I think we got like Mike Tyson Punch Out or something like that, and that's what we played.
Oh no.
Oh.
I'm so sorry. I can't beat anything. I beat like one guy.
I was like 5, and I had my older brother, just beating the crap out of me in this game. I mean, it's just how it just is what it is.
Yeah.
I never got
fantastic.
into gaming whenever I was a kid, but whenever I was in high school and middle school, I started playing Dungeons and Dragons and Magic the Gathering. And then I met my husband, and he's like, hey, I have this game for you. You're going to love it because it's just like Dungeons and Dragons, but it's going to be on your computer. And I'm like, okay, whatever. And he got me hooked on Final Fantasy XI, the online game, and I've been playing games ever since.
Lovely.
Nice.
And how did those early experiences with gaming, what did they mean for you?
Well, definitely bonding between me and my older brother. We still beat the crap out of each other. But yeah, just a lot of bonding. I mean, it's same with like whenever me and my husband plays games, we play together occasionally. We play a lot of different stuff now, and we're both he plays Final Fantasy 14, I play Fallout 76, and both of us are like, we're like, well, you know, we could play together, but you won't play my game. And he's like, but you won't play my game. And I'm like, well, I'll play your game if you play. And it hasn't happened. The last thing we played together was Destiny 2.
That sounds like me and my wife. Destiny 2. That was...
You know, one of the interesting things that I'm seeing across all of your guys' stories is the relationships that you form with people in your family or friends over video games, which is really cool.
Absolutely. This was really fun, and I think I've really enjoyed seeing people chiming in the chat. I think it might be nice for us to chime in as well. Rick, what are your earliest gaming memories?
My earliest one was my older brother's NES and Mario, and he also had an Atari 2600 with the nice fancy wood grain. And what someone had mentioned about playing Pacman on it, I remember spending hours on E.T., if you remember that trash fire.
Yes, I had that too.
And trying to figure out what was going on. Like, I was like, I swear I'm missing something. It can't be the game. It's got to be me. Lo and behold, it was the game. I didn't know the internet. So that was like the earliest one. But I wanted to touch on something that was kind of made me think a little bit. Everyone's like first experience was like a different generation. You can kind of figure out their ages, kind of what generation they were when they started. And I was thinking about like someone in the chat was like Banjo-Kazooie, and I'm thinking, wow, you know, I'd already been playing games for a while at that point.
Yeah.
Someone was like, you know, I didn't even hear the one thing you were programming on.
TRS-80 color computers.
Yes,
so
I never even heard of that one
Tandy
before.
machine. You've got Tandy versions 1 through 4. Then the Cocos were their
Whoa.
commercial in the living room one. You could hook to the TV. It was super cool. And we had a Coco too, because this is like 83, 84. And Dad hooked it up, and it was amazing. And then he took us to Disney on a BBS, and I'm like, holy cow, what's going on? And it was beautiful.
So, well, I was thinking about all this. And earlier today, my daughter was playing Beat Saber.
Wow.
With a virtual reality.
Imagine that being one of your formative gaming experiences.
And she's like playing she's playing the songs on hard. She's doing all right. I'm like, this is so different from NES.
You're like, I don't even know how to work the Keurig.
It's hilarious. Like, I was just thinking about that. I was like, wow, like she's gonna be like, yeah, when I grew up, I was playing on
VR. Can you imagine VR? Like, wow.
Before we had holodecks.
It's like,
yeah. So it's funny how everyone's experience is different, but we all kind of end up in the same place.
Yeah.
In some respects.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
So it's a big communal gathering unless you spend a lot of time on Reddit.
Absolutely.
Other than that, it's a big communal family thing.
Yeah, depends on the subreddit, I guess, but
yeah. Reddit can be more of a Thanksgiving family gathering at times.
Yeah. For me, you know what? I want to say that it was a console, Super Mario Brothers on Nintendo, and like Duck Hunt. But I think that actually came after. I think that came after, or at the same time. So I had played Super Mario Brothers at my cousin's. When I was growing up, we weren't a wealthy family. You know, we didn't have video games. Were not a part of our household. It was always so cool to go to like a friend's house and they had like the latest console, and you were like, wow, this is so cool. I'm never gonna get to play this again. Can I just stay overnight? Like, you know, I just want to just like not sleep and play this for 12 hours. But then we ended up actually getting a Macintosh 2 piece computer, and the first game that was actually kind of like my own and that I played, like Patrick earlier was saying, was Sim Ant. So it was like pre-Sim City era, where you were ants and you had to build like ant farms, like in the soil you had to build all the trails and make the ants move everywhere, and it was really cool.
That sounds really cool.
Yeah, and it was like this.
Play that now.
It was like this 2D isometric.
There's a Facebook group that would love to play that game now.
Oh yeah, Sim Ant, fantastic. And then I upgraded to Sim City, which was super cool. And there was also like a Star Trek Next Generation game that was on a floppy disk for Macintosh 2 that I played briefly. I remember it Look, she's digging it out. She has it. I know she has it. Is that it?
Of course she has it.
Starfleet Academy. No, wait. Next gen, you said Final Unity, or maybe.
Well, this was on a floppy. This was on a
25th
floppy though.
anniversary game. Oh, a
I'm
floppy.
so
It was on a
impressed that you
floppy.
don't just have them; you have them within arm's reach.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's clutter.
Yeah.
That's
I just
all.
happen to have it right here.
Yeah, so the Macintosh 2 was my first real entry into computer games and games in general, I think. But I do remember, playing Super Mario Brothers on the regular Nintendo at my cousin's farm, 4 Mile actually, who may or may not be in the chat watching. And I'd be screaming out the window, and she'd be out in the field holding the antenna, just adjusting it so that we can get the right angle to be able to get the friggin' console to work on channel 4. And it's just like, oh yeah, those are the times. But I don't know,
I
like
had times like that.
video games for me kind of ebbed and flowed throughout my life. I was sort of exposed to them when I was little, then I was really exposed to them between like the ages of like 8 to 15, 16. And then I went through this like phase of like wanting to be popular and like going out and partying and being wild. And then I sort of reined it back in, and here we are. So I don't know. I think stepping away from video games might have been a good thing, because when I came back into the fold, I was so amazed at how far along video games had come that I fell even more in love with them the second time around than I would have had I just stuck with them, So
What game brought you back? What was the
for
game that
me
brought
it
you
was
back?
Fallout 3. Yeah, Fallout 3 is what brought me back. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So, yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Very
What about
nice.
you,
You
Shalene?
start off with a game with Liam Neeson as your dad. Of course, it's going to be good.
True.
For me, it's Frogger on the Atari 2600. My uncle bought his kids a Nintendo. So he sent my brothers and I the Atari 2600 and all the games. We were always growing up a console behind because we always had secondhand consoles, which, it's in a way it's a bummer not to have the latest thing, but it was awesome to get this with all these games, and instead of just like, oh, this 1 or 2 games that we could barely afford, we had like this entire library of games. And I remember I was wearing my favorite outfit, which was a ladybug suit. It was a little ladybug dress, and it had antennas, and I loved it. And I remember sitting in my brother's room with him, playing Frogger, and I was intentionally splatting the frog because I thought it was hilarious. I just thought the noise it made was the funniest thing I had ever heard. And that's one of my earliest gaming memories. And I feel like I never let go of that idea of making your own fun in a video game.
Yeah.
That the game they want you to play is not necessarily the fun that I can create.
Yeah.
On my own. The game, the stories that we write ourselves are more important.
Shalene, where were you where were you today when I filled out the Sea of Thieves feedback survey? Because that's the thing that I was looking to write down, and I couldn't quite put it into words. Oh well.
The other thing I was thinking, like your story about what you did, you're intentionally spotting the Frogger. You haven't changed. Like, you and I will be playing co-op, and it's like, all right, Shalene, we've got to go in, we got to sneak in, we got to get the president's daughter, then we need to get out without alerting the enemy, and then you're over there like, I'm gonna poke a death claw, and I'm gonna flick the alarm button to see what happens.
What does this do?
This one time we were playing the Division. Was it the original one or Division 2?
Division 1.
Division 1. And we're like walking into this building. It's very stealthy. Rick like jumps over the counter, and he jumps, and he's like hiding, very sneaky. And I walk through the front door through the metal detector.
And all the guys are like, what?
It was so good. It was so good. All these
That's how
guys
I
came
play
rushing
too.
down, and Rick was like, Shalene?
Oh, I got a better one for you, Shalene, when we get to our gameplay coming up. Oh, it's a doozy. It's a doozy.
Well,
I'm so mad.
well, that's a little foreshadowing for later then. But yeah, I I remember splatting that frog in my ladybug suit. It was great. And I've always seen games as a playground to explore. You know, it's a world that I can get lost in, and I like finding ways to break the rules. So that's my thing. But I think that was a lovely little get to know you session. I really enjoyed hearing everybody's responses. I mean, I'm on both shows, so I know everybody, but I definitely learned things about all of you that I didn't know before, and that was really fun. Shall we roll on into the news?
We shall.
As always, shout out to Joseph Tao for helping us compile the news every week. Vendor, I think I cut you off. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I was going to do the Rick thing, but it's fine.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you want to do the thing?
No, it's too late now.
We can pretend I didn't say the thing. Okay. New releases for June. Rick, let us hear it.
Ooh, it's almost June. I feel like wait, is this March, April, May? May. Didn't May
What year is it?
May zoomed by. April was like ridiculous, and May is like gone. So
who would have thought
April
sitting
was 4 years long. May was 3 days.
Who would have thought sitting in our homes, the month would just go by like that?
I didn't think so. But for June, once you're all pent up in your house, and now that you're ready to go back out, they're going to lure you back in with these new June releases of video games. First off, on June 2nd, you can expect such gems like Little Town Hero on the PlayStation 4, Command & Conquer Remastered Collection on the PC, Rock of Ages 3, Make & Break. This is going to get hard.
Oh, no.
For the PC, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, and Stadia.
Stadia is a new category.
I
thought Google abandoned Stadia.
No, I think the player base abandons.
Google soon to follow, but yeah.
if they don't sell billions upon billions upon billions of Stadias or subscriptions to it, they'll scrub it.
I think I read something about Google abandoning that it was a paid service, like they're making it free now or something.
Well, that would be smart.
I'm gonna have to research that. But anyway, sorry to interrupt you.
Any sort of streaming service, like I feel like we as Gamestack are just like, go away.
Yeah.
Come back when you're ready to play seriously.
Yeah.
Anyway, I mean, not that the players are playing seriously, but like the companies providing these, because those services never seem to work. Anyway, so that's all on June 2nd. June 4th, you can get Pro Cycling Manager 2020 on PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. You can get Tour de France on 2020 on PC,
So
PlayStation
we have
4, and Xbox
competing bicycle games
on the
June the
same
4th.
day. Well, whoever takes the most steroids wins.
I may have to get these if I can use them with my trainer.
I was thinking this is up Bender's alley.
I mean, Pro Cycling Manager, like the old version, is actually pretty darn good.
Do you manage a cycling team?
No, it's just better graphics and it's just really nice mechanics, and it works well with trainers, unlike Zwift. Looking at you, Zwift. So, never mind, it's not important.
Like if it was actually a bicycle sim with like heads-up handlebar display and stuff like that, like when you do Euro
That's
Truck.
what I do. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
That would be amazing for you.
That's what it is. That's basically what it is. Yeah. So
like a Harley one.
I'm gonna have to give it
Put
a
on
go.
a yellow jumpsuit, get ready to play. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Should make a Harley one. Like the faster you pedal, the more RPMs you rev. It's be cute. Anyway, Clubhouse games on June 5th. So Clubhouse games : 51 worldwide classics for the Switch, and also on June 5th, if you own a Switch, here you go. The Outer Worlds comes to the Switch on June 5th. That's a game I have not been able to pick up again.
Yeah, I'm trying to decide if I want to pick it up for Switch.
I haven't even finished it.
I haven't either.
The Outer Worlds?
I might. I feel like I might.
Played 2 hours. I played 2 hours
to get
and
back to.
I'm waiting.
I don't know why I haven't finished it yet, and I'm so upset with myself that I haven't, because I was so hyped about this game.
Mm-hmm.
But I
Worth
just
going through.
Me too.
I haven't
It's
been
worth
in the
going
right
through once.
mindset, I think. I don't know.
And I don't get the whole it's Fallout in
I just
space,
arrived
'cause
at
I didn't
Monarch.
get that vibe.
Yeah.
No, it definitely didn't feel like Fallout in space. It was definitely
No.
Fallout. I mean, you've had Fallout vibes for sure.
Little, but not,
It's
I was
like
disappointed. I was
Yeah.
very
Just
disappointed.
didn't hook me. Like I'm
Mhm.
not hooked, right? I played my 2 hours and I put it
Yeah.
down and then I walked away and I'm okay without it.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
that
I
makes me
couldn't-
feel crappy because I paid for it.
Oh,
For it.
I may have not paid for it because I have the Xbox Pass, so I lucked out with that.
Smart.
Yeah,
But-
I did the past two, and yeah.
But I played through it once, like I couldn't put it down, and then I was like, oh, I'm gonna start my second character, make it like a snipey kind of ninja, and I just couldn't.
I'm still in
that's
this
really
like denial.
unusual.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rick loves making new characters. It's
Yeah.
I
I'm a
think the
holic.
story was kind of static, It has a little bit of Fallout aesthetic, but it was much more, Mass Effect. It was like Fallout meets Mass Effect meets Firefly. You played through once, but it's static things. These different like slight curves all take you to the same place.
Yeah.
And
there's
actually,
also a bit of a Bioshock vibe
For
a
sure.
little bit, yeah.
with
Well,
also like some influence from Arcane's level design.
I'm still mad at myself for not going back to it, and I'm totally in this like denial phase where I'm like, the game is so good, but I haven't played it at all.
Yeah.
Well, you mentioned
Okay.
Firefly, Jess,
okay.
and that was the first character I rolled in that game was a Malcolm Reynolds roleplay.
Pistol kind of captain
Oh,
guy.
totally
Nice.
pistols and
Awesome.
just because I want my Firefly game, but like a real good Firefly game. Anyway, I love the
Anyways,
Firefly, just-
yeah.
Anyway, so anyway,
That's it.
Big
on
Joss Whedon fan, I understand.
on June 8th, you can expect Beyond Blue for the PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. And then June
No!
9th,
I knew
No!
I knew this one would be the one.
Bleep, bleep,
June 9th, you get the Dark Eye : Book of Heroes for the PC. It's
A la
so
la
great.
la la long, a la
The
la la
sequel is
la
called The
long,
Brown
long,
Eye.
long, long,
So much better when
a
you
la la
hesitate.
la la long.
That drives it home.
Oh no.
And then also on June 9th, you get Yes. Yes? YS? Yes? Is that
Classic.
Shalene?
I think
English?
it's Ease. I'm-
Ease?
I'm-
Yeast.
Okay,
Yeah.
so on June 9th, you also get
Ives.
Ease, Memories of Calcutta on PlayStation 4. There you go. On June 12th, you're going to get Warborn, PC, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, and Mac. Weird one there. On
That's
June
rare.
That is a rare one. On June 16th, you're going to get Desperados 3 on PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One, and Disintegration, PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One as well. Also on June 16th, you're going to get Hard Space : Shipbreaker - Steam Early Access on the PC. So there's that. On June 19th, The Last of Us Part 2
Oh,
for PlayStation 4.
I'm dreading this one.
Really?
I'm dreading this.
Everybody's
It's
looking
not-
forward.
All right. What's
Yeah.
up with this?
I have a 16-year-old daughter who is a huge Last of Us fan that cries over everything.
Oh yeah.
And not only does she cry over everything, she climbs in my lap. And then I have 16-year-old girl snot in my hair, on my clothes. And I mean, it's just a mess. So I'm really dreading the release of this game.
There is 100% going to be tears. There is no way. No way there's not tears. I expect to cry.
She's playing Final Fantasy VII Remake right now, and a random character died, and she cried for an hour and a half. I mean, it's just, you would think that she would
Hey,
be
man.
dehydrated.
I am still mourning Arthur Morgan.
So, yeah,
Well,
we
I
heard
mean,
a
Just
lot about
saying.
that.
Just
Honestly,
saying.
I like fictional characters more than I like real people, and she's the same way. But
Oh yeah, high five.
yeah. But I mean, seriously, this was a random character. This was even like one of the big character deaths that's in that game.
Oh, so she hasn't gotten to the character name starts with A in the Sephiroth bit. She hasn't gotten to that yet.
Well, she's playing remake right now, but she knows about that. She knows about
she
that.
knows. Okay, all right.
It's
Because
not.
I was the
That's
OG.
not in. Yeah,
I was an OG Final Fantasy VII person. and-
my husband is big Final Fantasy guy.
well, I only liked 7. I couldn't get into the rest.
Mhm.
But I hesitate on the remake just because I've heard if you're a
It's-
fan of 7, you expect 7, you're not gonna be happy.
He loved it.
Oh, he
And
did.
like I said, he's like I have cloud right
I saw a cloud there with I saw that and I was very happy.
Actually above me up here is Sephiroth in another cloud and Vincent and
Nice,
just a whole
nice.
mess of the player guys.
Very cool.
My laptop is actually propped up on the Final Fantasy archive books. So, I mean, we have a lot of Final Fantasy stuff.
Nice. Well, much to your 16-year-old chagrin, that's coming out on June 19th. Also on June 19th, more on an upbeat note, Burnout Paradise Remastered, because I didn't know that needed a remaster.
What? Wait,
Everything
I feel
needs
like
a remaster nowadays.
is that like a 2020 simulator? Because
It's the favorite.
Burnout Paradise? No, Burnout.
I mean, I'm living the dream, but I'm also not living the dream. Yeah.
Burnout Paradise is a favorite of the Burnout series for card game aficionados.
Yeah.
But
my wife is a big Burnout.
So many
fan.
remakes.
I was when it came to car games, like my wife was always into like Burnout and like Arcadia, but I'm like, the proper way to drive is if you play Gran Turismo 4, and it's better than Forza because Forza is terrible. And I was like a big sim, like you've got to watch the gas, give it 50% throttle through the turn, hit the apex. You missed it. You missed the apex. Like that's where I was with my car games.
Wow, don't play GTA 5 then.
Oh, I understand that is not a car sim, but I hated Forza for the whole keep up on the AI anyway.
Okay.
On June 23rd, you can expect SpongeBob SquarePants: Battle for Bikini Bottom Dash Rehydrated on PC, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Switch. On June 25th, you get Hunting Simulator 2. Also on June 25th, you get Phantom: Covert Ops. And
Gotta watch out for those phantom colons.
And going with Phantom Colons on the 25th, you get Mr. Driller
Yes!
Drillin' on the
Yes!
PC and Switch. What is that?
Is that dental? Is that a dental sim?
Mr. Driller? Drillland?
I feel like Mr. Driller goes way back. That
I need
franchise,
to.
but I don't remember what it is.
This is
Like
one
a
that
Dicta clone?
we gotta Google
Yeah.
this one. Hopefully Googling it doesn't yield terrible things. But.
Yeah, I was about to say, be careful what you Google with that.
Safe search on
Very
vendor.
So while you're discovering that, on June 26th, you get Fairy Tale on the PC, PlayStation 4, and the Switch.
Yes.
On June 30th, you get No Straight Roads. Also on June 30th, you get The Legend of Heroes: Trails of Cold Steel 3 on the Switch. No specific date for these games, but Pokemon Sword and Shield: The Isle of Armor expansion comes out in June for the Switch, and Fogs or Pogs,
I would say
P-H-O-G-S.
Fogs.
Yeah,
Fogs,
definitely
PC,
Fogs.
Xbox One, and Switch, and made of Skur, PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One.
That
also
one looks pretty
expected in June.
spooky. Made of Skur.
Spoopy?
Looks pretty spooky.
Did you Google success, Mr. Driller?
It's like some weird game for little ones, little kids. I don't know. It's like a puzzle, sort of bejeweled kind of thing. So.
Okay.
Weird.
Now, Jess, you seem to get very excited at the mention of Fairy Tale.
Yes, you did. You did Happy Hands.
So I'm a big fan of the Fairy Tale anime. It's a great anime, really long running. It's got a fun story arc, but it's been around such a long time that it's got some really convoluted and cool story arcs. It's kind of a classic 2000s anime. It started mid 2000s. Anyway, so I like the series, and it's going to be a guild game. I was just looking it up because honestly, I hadn't heard about this, and I just saw the list when you got to it, and I just got very excited. But it's going to be on PC. Who knows? I might check it out, and Switch.
Cool.
Yeah, if it's RPG.
Yes, PC, PlayStation 4, and the Switch. I knew that. I was never a big anime guy. I was really into Gundam Wing, and that was about it.
Yeah, I'm not a big anime fan, but Miyazaki, and then there's a series every couple years that catches me. Oh, and Pokemon, but people who listen to Dames know that.
All my friends were like
Same.
Dragon Ball Z, and I'm like, it's like Days of Our
I like
Lives.
anime
Dragon
too.
Ball Z is.
Yeah, no, you gotta watch the Team 4-Star Dragon Ball Z abridged. That's where it's at.
Is that like, did they like just cut every episode really quick together?
They're hilarious. They're hilarious. They re-voice them. They're
Oh my
absolutely hilarious.
I'll have to check
They
that out.
also did Hellsing Ultimate, which I love Hellsing. But their Hellsing Ultimate series is hilarious, and I think they're currently working on Final Fantasy VII.
Nice.
Abridged. So
That sounds fun.
Just starts with Sephiroth. Well, I guess we're at this part already.
Oh, dear. Okay.
Anyhow,
Well,
that was it for the list.
thank you, Rick. Quite a list it was. Let's roll into the rest of the news. We're going to start out with, well, not E3 because E3 was canceled. But
Just
we
breaks
are
my
having
heart.
some E3 sort of stand-ins, like virtual E3 is happening instead of having E3
E3 at
condensed
home.
into one.
VE3.
Yes, VE3. Instead of having it all in one little package in a week, it's spread out over the whole summer. It's E3 all the time now. People are just
I don't like it.
announcing video games willy-nilly. Helter Skelter. It's a total mess.
What's the world coming to?
I know,
I don't
right?
like it. I don't like
Total
it.
chaos.
I
But
swear, Shalene, if they cancel E3 forever and just start doing like virtual releases,
I'm gonna blame
I'm
you.
gonna get
But you know what?
me.
Yes, because you had finally committed to really going this time.
Yes.
I'm
this
gonna
is
have to
true.
agree with Shalene. You
Yeah.
broke E3.
Rick, you do bring up a good point though, because we had already seen that Sony dropped out last year.
Yep.
And Nintendo's been doing the digital thing
Nintendo
for
has been
years.
moving to digital, and so I think that this is just really bad timing for E3. And I think
so to
that
speak.
trying to get those vendors back is going to be quite difficult next year and the following years. So
I'm just gonna
Wow.
show up and stand in the hall and just scream to the sky like, "I'm here. Where's everybody else?"
We'll be at the convention center watching it on our phone.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
That'd be so good. Okay. So we do have a little rundown of some of the virtual press conferences that will be happening in the absence of E3. This is courtesy of Kotaku, an article by Ethan Gack. And we've got the Summer Game Fest on May the 12th. Starting May the 12th. It's already May the 22nd, but this will run throughout the summer. This is a digital event organized by Jeff Keighley, who is responsible for the Game Awards. And there will be game demos available at some point, and he's also doing live streams with announcements. He's already done a couple of those, I believe. And to me, it's kind of a letdown. I don't know. I feel like I just haven't enjoyed them the way
Big
that.
time.
Yeah. I haven't enjoyed them the way that I enjoy E3 type things. On June the 6th, you can expect Guerrilla Collective, which is a multiple day showcase focusing on indie games and mid-sized studios. This will be hosted by Greg Miller, the co-host of Kinda Funny. And
That dude gets around a bit.
he does, yeah. He's a very busy man. I took a picture with him at E3 last year, and I looked so bad in the picture that I couldn't post it. It was so awful. It's really bad. It's because he was so tall. It's hard to take pictures with tall people when you're not also a tall person.
I don't
Yeah.
have that. That's not a problem for me.
that's why I wear stilettos. I mean,
I
But
just
he
tell
was
him to
very
stoop
polite though. I know. Neil,
down, boy.
take a knee. The PC gaming show will be also on June the 6th, and this is it will be hosted by Sean Day9 Plot, who
Really?
is a former StarCraft pro, and Frankie Ward. They are the hosts who did it last year. Frankie is an esports broadcaster, and this, of course, is hosted by PC Gaming Magazine, as always. And this has always been largely a digital event. I went in person last year, but it's a small building that they have it in, so it won't be super different. Having it digitally, I really feel like it won't be that much of a difference. They usually do mid-size and indie games, all kinds of different genres, all PC games, of course. And they also do some hardware announcements. So it is neat because they tend to give the developers a lot of time to talk. That's one of the biggest strengths of the PC gaming showcase. Let's see. Last year though, it was controversial, I will mention, because Epic had sponsored it. And Epic is still not super popular among the gaming crowd, but at this time last year, Epic was really unpopular.
They're a little more popular right now.
Yes, having given away 8 billion copies of GTA 5.
I may have partook.
Yes, I may have given you crap about it too.
You did.
The Steam Game Festival will take place June 9th through the 14th. And this was it's originally part of Jeff Keighley's Summer Game Fest. But this is broken out separately because this is when demos are available for the games that have been unveiled during the live streams. So you will be able to log on to Steam and play these demos, which is very cool. To play demos at E3, you have to spend hours waiting in line in many cases, and that's not fun at all. So you can play these demos from the safety and comfort of your own home. On June 11th, and I'm excited for this one, CD Projekt Red is hosting Night City Wire to give some more information about the upcoming Cyberpunk 2077. They've done a great job with marketing so far. Their announcements at the Keanu reveal at the Xbox showcase last year was one of the biggest moments of E3.
No, you're breathtaking.
Yes.
I'm scared for this game.
That broke me.
In ways.
So
I'm
good.
terrified for this game.
Why?
Because it's going to go really good
or really bad.
Really bad.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on the hype.
Yeah.
And it's
They
the
better.
only game.
I'll just say they better have some damn good synthwave in that game.
There's this artist. If anybody out there likes like electronic music, synthwave stuff, there's an artist out there who I've been obsessed with the last couple days, and the artist is called Look Mum No Computer. Oh my gosh. Anyway, somebody was saying on the comments of his videos, they're like, this dude needs to soundtrack all of Cyberpunk. But
Yeah.
What I really want to say is like Cyberpunk 2077 is the only game I'm looking forward to this year.
Really?
And yeah, like I haven't seen any other games that have piqued my interest, at least that I remember. And I'm really nervous with all the hype around it. I mean, come on, Keanu Reeves, for crying out loud. What other game had a celebrity circled around it like Keanu? Like, I can't think of one.
Harrison Ford.
Death Stranding, just with Mad Mikkelsen and stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that game
Jesse
was also
Williams,
kind of
Jesse Williams, Detroit Become Human. I mean,
Kevin
know who Jesse
Spacey, like
Williams is.
4 Call of Duties ago.
that doesn't count anymore.
No one is Keanu though. No
Yeah,
one is
that's
Keanu.
Fair.
Beautiful.
He's
I
having
mean,
a moment right now.
Keanu's been having a moment since Bill and Ted.
Do you guys
Sure
think
has.
that he?
Another game I played on Nintendo, by the way, the original Nintendo, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Tubular.
Very well
How
done.
was that? I didn't know that was a game.
It was good, actually.
Wonderful.
But
Yeah.
I'm really worried about this
Yeah.
game. I hope it's good. I want it to be good because it's the only one I'm looking forward to. Since it's coming out later in the year, if it's terrible, I'm going to be disappointed.
I'm really not sure that Cyberpunk is going to be for me. I don't know if I'm going to enjoy playing the game, but I have very much enjoyed the marketing around it. They've been doing a great job. They've been knocking it out of the park. So I'm definitely looking forward to this.
And we know from past experience that marketing almost never matches what we expect to receive in terms of content. So I hope that it is more or less balanced, and what we see is really what we can expect to get in the game. But they're doing a good job marketing it, definitely.
I'm surprised, Shalene, that this isn't something you're looking forward to. I mean, it's like techno, cyber noir. CD Projekt Red put out The Witcher.
I'm
Do you like Witcher?
interested. I'm interested, Rick, but I don't know if it's going to suck me in.
I am totally like
sucked.
Yes. I mean, hello.
Yeah.
I got freaking laser beams already.
Celine
So
lost interest whenever she found out that you can't romance Keanu Reeves.
Yes, exactly. Pre-order canceled.
He's in your head. Every private fantasy about Johnny Silverhand, he's in there. You're good.
I think he's like your virtual assistant. in the game.
Yeah,
That's
he's
what
basically
that's
like
what I understand.
Cortana, right?
It sounds pretty good to me because it means he's with you
Yeah.
all the time.
I really hope that they record at least one random comment when he like notifies you of something new. He goes, "Hey, listen." I really hope that's like a little thing that he says every like 100 lines.
And then
So great for
Shalene
him.
will have it as her text tone.
That'd be so great.
Navi, but Keanu Reeves.
Instead of
Last
Miss
year-
Shalene, we'll hear, "Hey, listen."
Last year at the Cyberpunk demo, I fell up the stairs. So
Better direction than down.
I was
in front of all the real games journalists, and I can never show my face again. Yeah, it
I
was
am
terrible.
so proud
He's
that you
canceled,
can just
so-
freely talk about that, because I would never mention it again in my lifetime. I would have to kill each and every person that's seen me fall up the stairs.
Yes, in front of all the real games journalists, and I was mortified. But it's over now. EA Play Live 2020 will be on June the 11th, and EA Play traditionally is a very fan-focused event where they have, for a weekend, they have a little section of Hollywood blocked off, and anybody can get in. They and fans can try out games, and they have musicians performing, rappers and pop musicians performing. They have food trucks. It's like a big block party. So that obviously will not be happening this year. So they will be doing an online showcase. Who knows what this is going to look like this year? Who knows what it's going to look like? They are doing a revamp of Anthem, so we may see what they're planning to do with that. I'm hoping to see more about the future of Jedi Fallen Order. They are planning to make that into a franchise with sequels, so maybe they will tell us what they're planning there. I'd love to see what BioWare is working on. Will Dragon Age live? Will it ever come back? I just please somebody get the defibrillators.
I will.
I'm just really excited that you know, Shalene, you're going to be here with Rick and I this year to do the coverage.
Yes, that will be fun.
Right?
It was difficult last year, like shouting at you over the phone from
the lobby.
Los Angeles.
Yeah, she had a smoker's voice. I am Sheen.
The people didn't hear that.
They don't.
People did not hear
But
that.
you gotta tell the story
It was
now.
so funny.
Okay, tell the story.
So we're so used to Shalene's beautiful, cherub-like voice.
So
and
Rick recommended this piece of equipment for me to take.
It's not
It
showing up
doesn't
on
show.
the stream. Oh, there it goes. So it's a Zoom recorder. It's a little stereo recorder. It's perfect for journalism, things like that. So Shalene hooks it up to her computer, and we, get on the video chat before the show, getting everything ready. And I'm like, "Hi, Shalene, how you doing?" And Vendor's like, "Hi, Shalene, how's E3?" And Shalene's like, "E3 is really fine, everybody." And we were like, what is going on?
And Rick and I, it was really funny because there was this like awkward silence, but then Rick and I didn't say anything because we were both thinking the same thing, which was, what if this was her real voice the whole time?
Like we weren't sure, because this was like a new thing, and she's always had her Yeti, so we're like, what if she's just this like soprano, like bass?
What if she's actually like got this really low, like
it's
smokers,
Spaceballs,
lady voice?
Who knew
like
she was a bass. And then we were like, Shalene, you've got to fix your audio. She's like, what's the
and
matter?
there's nothing wrong with it. And we were like, okay, it's fine.
It was hilarious. It took
and
us
then
a while to
she's
figure
like,
out how to
oh
get it
wait,
right.
does this help? And then it was like her normal voice, and we were like, oh my god.
Gosh,
Yeah,
it was crazy.
Yeah, I was a little horrified after I heard what it sounded like. I was horrified that you guys thought that might be my natural voice.
What?
Definitely a
Now I
soprano.
wanna hear it.
Definitely a soprano.
Well, the one thing I wanted to point out, I don't know if we talked about this on the show. I can't remember what game it is, but it's under the EA umbrella. I think it's under the EA umbrella, where you pay for the game, and then you can pay one round, or you play one round per day, and then to play more, you have to pay to play the game that you just paid for.
Yeah, it's definitely an EA game.
Whoa.
I can't remember what game that was, but it was like they there was like they put out a version of it, and then it did really well. It was free, or it was like pay, and then it was free after that. And then they put out a second one, and it didn't do too well. And then within the same year, they dropped both servers for both games. And then the culling, that's what it is, the culling. And then they're like rebooting it again, but you got to pay for the game, and you get to play 1 round per day, and then you get to pay more.
Forget that noise.
Play more, and it's like who thinks that's a good idea? Like everyone in the world, including Reddit, is like that's not smart. And you guys like, it'll be fine. We'll do it. It's fine.
That is ridiculous.
It'll be like 100 people.
That's beyond.
It'll be streamers. Streamers will keep that game alive. That's what they'll do.
Well, let's go ahead and roll through the rest of these press conferences. Sega New Game Plus Expo will be on June 23rd. Sega is joining with Koei Tecmo, NIS America, NIS America, I've never heard of this company, and some other publishers from Japan and North America to do a digital showcase. So that will undoubtedly have some interesting things. Ubisoft Forward will be on July the 12th, and they are still calling it an E3 style showcase. It will include reveals of new games. And of course, they will showcase more information on Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which I am very excited about because Vikings! And Watchdogs Legion, of course. Watchdogs Legion is incredibly ambitious. And if this game lives up to half of what they say it will, I'm going to be very impressed. That's what I'm thinking. I saw it and I thought there is no way they're going to pull this off. This is not possible. It's not possible. But we'll see. We'll see. Microsoft is having Xbox 2020. We had one of those events already. We talked about that on the last episode of Games Who Game, I believe.
Which will be coming out in 3 weeks or so.
It'll be coming out. It'll be coming out sometime next month. With the murder flowers and the very Geiger-esque imagery. That was something else. But there will be some additional showcases giving us more information. So yeah, that's what we know about so far in terms of E3 replacements. And
just so much.
I mean,
I'm so lazy. I want to sit in front of a TV for 2 hours and not have to think about when I gotta tune into stuff.
The only thing I want to see coming out of E3 this year is a promised date for Skull and Bones.
Yes! What happened?
I love how we all laugh because we know it's never
They just
gonna happen.
fell off the planet. It was like some cat came up and pushed the whole thing off the table. And they just never resurfaced.
Cat was Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Gosh. Anyways, sorry.
Ubisoft's phrase they have on their wall when you walk in is like, take 10 steps forward and then 5 steps back and then release the game.
Yeah. They diverted the dev team from that to Beyond Good and Evil 2, which of course is also never coming out.
Yes.
Such a really good trailer too. It's like, oh, that looks good. And it's like, you look it up and it's like, is this something that's only going to exist?
Beyond Good and Evil 2 was the genesis of our sitar meme.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that was way back in the day.
Yeah, I hear Skull and Bones. I always think of the political fraternity that many prominent politicians belong to. But I saw the gameplay footage. It looked pretty.
That in the Paul Walker movie.
Yeah. It seemed like such an easy thing because it was like, you had Assassin's Creed Black Flag. How hard would it be to export that into something different that was a little more multiplayer based? Mm-hmm. Apparently, it's quite hard.
I mean, Sea of Thieves is fantastic, but I want Skull and Bones. I want Pirate Simulator.
Yeah.
I want to go to Tortuga, and it's going to be amazing, and I want it to be great, and that's what they were going to deliver, and they didn't.
Sea of Thieves is a single player game, right? Or no, I mean Skull and Bones. Skull and Bones is a single player game, right?
Yes.
No, Skull and Bones is. Yeah. I thought Skull and Bones was
multiplayer.
Yeah,
it was co-op, I believe. It was co-op, but it wasn't an MMO.
I thought it was the same thing as Sea of Thieves, just realistic.
I did too.
Yeah. Okay, I misunderstood it then. I thought it was a single player game.
Other than the Assassin's Creed one, we really don't have an actual pirate single player game. Is that right?
It's been a while.
Yeah, I don't think we do.
So I think maybe the people are thirsty for one. About now.
I'm thirsty for one. I'll never turn down a good pirate game.
So may choose to sail Indian Ocean by themselves or set off on a single-player campaign or gather up to 5 other players to ally in player versus player gameplay in disputed waters.
So vendors all for the single player.
And the Wikipedia, I will just say, the Wikipedia says sometime after March 2021.
Okay.
Which this
After
was
March 2020.
this
or
was
21, or
probably
never.
this was probably written pre-pandemic, pre-COVIDian era. So, you know, it'll be sometime after.
We're never gonna see it.
2025.
These graphics are already outdated.
Exactly.
Well, maybe
Exactly.
they'll
They're gonna
rebuild
have
it
to
with
start from
UE5.
scratch. They're gonna have to
all the triangles.
instead of launching the game, they're gonna launch the remaster of the game.
Good point, Joseph Tao. Sorry, just gonna mention Joseph Tao in chat says Sid Meier's Pirates is good. Pirates was a classic, and they did do a remake of it just a few years ago.
Sid Meier's Pirates is fantastic, and I put a lot of hours into that. And
You need a new one
yeah.
with no Edward Kenway in sight.
Yes.
You know, I'm gonna call it. We're gonna see Half-Life 3 before we see Skull and Bones.
I'm not gonna take that bet against you because you might be right there. You might be right.
Dude, what?
Speaking of,
I was just gonna say one last thing. 2020 is so crazy and twisted that what if like come like November, like Valve is just like, and here's Half-Life 3, and we're all kind of like, we're all gonna end tomorrow because this doesn't make any sense.
And even if they threw it out there, we'll be like, okay, yeah.
Nobody
We're,
would
like,
buy it because
totally
we're like, we don't believe you.
desensitized.
Rick
I was
Astley
listening-
is the second cutscene of Half-Life 3 that you just released. We know it. We're not buying it.
I was listening
my
to a podcast that was from late last year from 2019 yesterday, and the hosts were going on, yeah, 2019 was really rough.
You're like, oh, you sweet summer child.
Well, now we've got 2020 starting. It's gonna be new and fresh, and I'm like thinking,
I mean, it's
You
crazy.
remember we thought 2016 was rough.
It's
I know,
crazy
I was
to
just thinking
think,
that, like,
right? Kids born November onward are post-COVIDian. They will never know what life was.
COVIDians.
They will never
I think I
know
read that
what
in the
life
Bible once.
was like.
French Covidians.
They'll never know what it was like before that time.
When you mentioned that Xbox is gonna have a 2020 event, I'm like, no.
Okay,
No more
guys.
2020.
Anyways,
So
derailed.
I spent the last 20 minutes trying to segue from
I'm
pirate talk
sorry.
into this next article, which is Sea of Thieves coming to Steam, and y'all changed the subject on me. Thanks a lot, guys.
You're welcome. You're
Um,
welcome.
Yes, but Sea of Thieves will be coming to Steam on June the 3rd. I know that's big news for some of you who do not like to play PC games outside of Steam. So, it's a lot of people feel that way. A lot of people are very strongly loyal to Steam. So
My husband is.
yeah, if you won't play PC games that are not on Steam, now you can play Sea of Thieves on June the 3rd, and you should play Sea of Thieves. If that's the reason that you've been holding out, play Sea of Thieves. It's incredible.
Also silly you, but yes, play Sea of Thieves.
I gotta say, I'm pretty concerned about this. Actually, I have my
Really?
my
Why?
reservations. So
More people.
I've watched, like, you know, Say Hey Rocco. You guys know who Say Hey Rocco is? Oh my God, go and follow Say Hey Rocco on Twitch. It is a hand puppet that plays Sea of Thieves, and it's glorious. It is the funniest. It is some of the funniest stuff I have ever watched. Anyways, Say Hey Rocco,
Okay,
go
wait.
check it out.
Say
What
hey,
is he-
Rocco.
SayHeyRocco.
Like a sock puppet, like
It's
Ed
like
the sock.
it's
sock
like a
puppet?
it's like a
It's Phil and
Jim
Ollie.
Jim Henson type puppet.
Is it
and
the cat?
It's the cat.
I've seen the cat on
Adorable.
the Sea of Thieves official stream.
Anyways, that was a tangent.
Awesome.
Streamers like Say Hey Rocco and Shumba and Pace and Octagon Rant, some of the bigger streamers around Sea of Thieves, because I've been watching a lot of this content to get the Obsidian stuff, the drops, are a little bit concerned about it coming to Steam because, what happened? Because we're going to see a resurgence of new players, which is going to fill up servers and things like that. So we're not entirely sure I'm not
get cutting
entirely
me off,
sure.
but cutting me in half. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, somebody had left the call. Rick left the call, so everybody got kind of jumbled. He'll be back in a moment. It's fine. I don't want to rearrange everything because
Yeah,
then
just leave it. It's fine.
Jeff,
Just lean,
high-five
Jess.
yourself.
Just lean. It's fine.
So I'm a little bit concerned about. I think that we're gonna get this influx of people, and then the servers are gonna be. I don't know. I wonder if they'll be able to handle it. Are they gonna add more servers? And it's gonna be cross-play, so people with controller are not gonna have the advantage. I don't know. So I don't know. What do you think, Shalene? What do you think about it coming to Steam?
I'm not worried about it. It's already been on PC. You know, we play it on PC.
Yeah.
People with controllers do okay. You know, that's I'm not worried about it. I'm really not. I think it's good that people will have a chance to play who haven't before.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. Yeah. Okay, well, there it is.
Yeah. So Take-Two, right? You know Take-Two? They are the owner, the parent company of Rockstar. They have many game properties that they own, and they have some ambitious plans for the next few years. Take-Two, as a publisher, plans to release 93 games by the end of March 2025. Wow. 63 of those games will be core experiences and 17 mid-core games, with 13 of them being arcade casual games. And 46 of these games are said to be entirely new IPs. And 47 of them are based on existing franchises.
Son of a bitch.
It's okay. It's fine. This is fine.
I'm so sorry.
I'm going to kill you.
For the audio folks, Rick left the video call for a minute and
I'm going to kill you so bad.
And it rearranged all of nobody's name matches anymore.
There was a large issue in the hallway. There was a spider I had to take care of, apparently.
Okay.
I'm still going to kill you.
It's fine. Everything is fine.
The way of the spider.
Okay. We need the sitar right now. It's fine.
It's all fine.
And
okay,
you can arrange while we go through the news.
If we could just quickly back up here, Rick, when you were piecing out, I was saying how I was concerned that Sea of Thieves will we're gonna see a resurgence of new players. It's gonna get crazy busy.
Probably.
Yeah, and then Shalene had kind of segued into this Pacman.
No, we're not to Pacman yet.
Sorry,
let's just move on to Pacman.
Yeah.
So it's the 40th anniversary of Pacman. Pacman turns 40. Ooh. And on May 22nd, that's today, the day of recording. And there's not a ton of news here. Everybody knows what Pacman is. This is from a Kotaku article by I don't see the byline. I try to give credit, but I don't see the byline. It's from a Kotaku article. And it's a really well-written piece of journalism. So I definitely
Matt Alt
encourage
is
you.
with.
Thank you. I definitely encourage you to read through this entire article because it's well-written. It's a well-written article. But the reason that I brought this up is because I just wanted to have a discussion with you guys. What do you think Pac-Man's midlife crisis looks like?
Ooh. He's going to leave Miss Pac-Man for the pink ghost.
I think there was a cartoon all about it in like 86, 87. And, he wears a tie now. He's got a crazy hat. He's got a sports car. That's what it's going to look like. Mm-hmm.
It's funny how the 80s, they franchised everything. Like, they made cartoons to sell toys. Like, not the inverse, but... And then, like, Pac-Man, they're like, this little circle that waka, 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 and eats little beads. So, like, let's just make a cartoon out of it. And it works.
Well, that was the 80s for you.
Yeah, we ate it up.
They made cereal, too, for everything.
Yeah.
True. There's a lot of cocaine. They're like, what if we made a cartoon?
Wait a minute. Is that Eva Longoria?
Is that Eva Longoria?
That is Eva Longoria.
Pac-Man?
What?
Pac-Man.
That is.
We got to get her on the show.
Oh, okay.
So that,
I'll call her. Because
she looks great.
Do you think that was her
have
first
our people
time?
call her people. I doubt it.
Shalene, we got to get people.
I'm the people.
That's
I'm our
true.
people. Yeah. Guys, I thought that was funny to think about. Pacman is middle-aged now, 40 years old. That's astonishing. He needs a red sports car. He needs an existential crisis.
Whoa, hey now. Yeah,
why does it have to be 50's the new middle age?
Yeah, 40.
Yeah, like I'm
40 is still young. Okay.
Can we split the difference and say like 45 to like?
Hey, that works. That works.
Let's still push it to 50.
Okay.
I'm 10 years away from my
to
midlife
70.
crisis.
Let's talk about this in 10
Rick,
years.
I'm,
I can't
yeah.
afford my fancy car
I'm
yet.
not trying to insult anybody here, Rick. I'm older than you, if you'll recall. So.
I know.
I'm just saying, I hit 30 and I went through something. I don't know what it was, but it may not have been a midlife crisis.
Quarter life crisis. Third life.
What are you gonna die at 60?
Well, I hope
Just
not,
life
but
crisis.
Super Dud in chat says that he's gonna go on a crash diet, stop eating pellets, and go carb free.
Probably.
My
Probably.
mother-in-law had a midlife crisis, and we are like, well, what are you gonna do? She's like, buy a convertible, and she did. She bought a convertible plane and then got her pilot's license.
That is so
Dang,
badass.
That's legit.
Awesome.
and we get flack. You know,
That's amazing. Like, we need to have her on a future episode of Dames. She is role model.
My friend, her husband recently had a quarter of a life crisis and bought an RV.
yeah.
He's just cooking meth. I mean, really.
And you know what I think it is? I think it's when people get to their 40s, they can cash out a certain portion of their RSPs or their 401ks with less penalties. So they cash it out, and then they buy the things that they've been waiting their whole life to buy.
Mm-hmm.
I've got this other theory that people from our generation aren't going to have the standard midlife crisis. Because if
No,
you think about the people
because
who
we're
have
all
the midlife
freaking
crisis-
broke.
Yeah.
Yeah,
not
that's what I was
even
about to say. I'm like, we're
Not
too
even
poor
that.
for that.
We don't
Even
have
that,
it
but, like,
too good.
we most of us have like gaming rooms and like collections of things, and like our parents, like they did the office 8 to 5 thing.
Yeah.
You know, their lives were
Get
pretty
a
much
mortgage,
dead.
pay it off in
You know, like,
25
it's just-
years.
And they did the 50s thing, and then they're like, I can't do this because
They
no
did the
human's
dream.
gonna survive that.
They did the
And they're
dream.
like, we're kind of all just willy-nilly. We're all 30, 40, whatever. I don't know what our ages are, but we're all playing video games still. Hell, we're having a video chat stream about video games. Like, we don't need a midlife crisis.
You're right.
Our whole
you're
life is a
right.
crisis.
Yeah. What would you guys buy?
Life is a crisis.
Well, I am literally sitting in a room of action figures. So
Right. Her midlife crisis is going to be like an actual house with like a wraparound porch.
No, I already bought that. I bought that year before last.
Lovely.
Maybe if we could get the floors level, because the house was built in '53 and the people who built it kept adding on to it, so it's like the shape of a Tetris flip brick.
Yeah.
Nice.
My house was built before they kept records for when houses were
Yeah.
built. And when my daughter walks across the floor, the whole house bounces.
Yeah, the house that I grew up in, the foundation was on rocks.
Yeah, that's ours.
Oh
yeah.
yeah,
I
dirt
found
basement.
bones in my basement.
I
I'm
will
not quite sure. They were cattle bones. I'm pretty certain.
Fingers crossed.
like-
I found other things. It's
Mr. Rockstark says that he imagines Pac-Man wearing New Balance tennis shoes and jean shorts while barbecuing brats.
I like
love it.
I like Super Dud's comment. I hit my midlife crisis and started running and biking instead of video games.
Absolutely.
Well done. Well done.
Well, thank you guys for indulging my very silly conversation about Pac-Man's midlife crisis. And let's roll on into what we're playing. We never did get a bumper for this segment, did we?
yes, I get it.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Jess, what you been playing?
What have I been playing? Well, I'm playing Fallout 76. Not a whole lot special report because I know this isn't that Fallout show. This is Gamestack. But there are a lot of events going on right now. So I've been playing some Nuclear Winter, getting into that because there are currently rewards going on.
Yeah.
Always exciting. That'll suck you in. Did double a triple XP. How lush was that, people?
Oh,
OMG.
that was fantastic.
It was beautiful.
That will suck you into a Nuclear Winter because then you're double dipping. You're getting Nuclear Winter experience. You're getting adventure experience. You're getting cool rewards right now. And there are camp items. There are camp items as rewards in Nuclear Winter. You know,
What did you think of the log?
Play some of that.
It's sitting in front of the lake.
It's
right
big,
now.
it's heavy, it's wood. I liked it a lot. Did you notice one little thing
It's
on it?
bringing back memories.
If you look at the end, the one end, there is a Vault Boy cardboard cutout shoved in there. And I realized last night during a camp evaluation that it is officially the Vault Boy cutout that was part of the Atomic Shop. That was in every train station, the one with the glasses and the big gold smile.
That is fantastic.
That's where they ended up.
No way.
Some artists having fun with that, I think. But yeah, so I'm playing 76 Adventure and Nuclear Winter this week. It's been great. You know, I'm always playing that and talk about other games on Dames Who Game. I don't remember the name of our show now. I'm like
right, Damestack. You just it just rolls off your tongue. You just want to say Damestack. I
do. It's lovely. Just as are all of you. But yeah, so a lot of my game time has been streaming and stuff, and I'm really enjoying 76 still. You know, Wastelanders brought a lot of fresh stuff. I mean, I chime in sometimes during the shows and chat and all that. You know how I feel about 76. I'm loving it, and Wastelanders was a really neat breath of fresh air. Great stuff with Update 19. Had some nice little things. Update 20 is the big one for this summer. Looking forward to it.
Huh. Guys, she's calling updates by the numbers, and I'm a little nervous that we're not that good.
Oh yeah, we're not. She's a pro. We're super not
always
that
on
good.
it.
Yeah.
I don't, because we're like, yeah, the update that came out like
The new one. No, the one before
What's
that.
the one
not this-
with the hats? There was hats.
I have 9 hotfix that applied. No, we're all good. I live in Fallout. That's my thing.
I didn't have the note added when I checked last night saying that vendors were disabled that had been removed. Have they fixed that now?
No, they have not.
It's still down. Yeah. All the displays. I finally build displays, and I'm like, look at them all. Where'd they go?
Yep.
Yeah.
They're definitely
I'm really
working on
upset
it.
because I got some new magazines for my magazine collection, but like I can't display them
Like,
yet.
like we've coined in our show, Shalene. It just
works.
Just works. Barely.
Sarah, what have you been playing?
Well, I'm sorry. It's all Fallout. Sorry, guys. I know.
Oh, don't be sorry. We love Fallout here at We Just Love Games.
Yeah, we like it so much we made
76,
another show
man.
about it.
Yeah.
And hated on it for a year on that show.
Oh no, I'm just gonna go.
What a whole year.
Still not a fan.
Oh my gosh. Oh, looking at Rick squirm is really
He's squirming
me
off
life right
camera.
now.
He's run away.
Rick, you can
Give me
leave.
life.
Just don't turn your camera off.
Oh, I forgot.
I actually do have a complaint. Like, so some of us get to play it a lot, and some of us don't get to play it so much, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm on the spectrum of like I just have a lot going on. I don't get to play a ton, and there's like so much going on right now with 76 that I'm feeling overwhelmed.
Yeah.
See,
Does
wasn't
anybody
I
else
saying
feel that
that?
way?
I was
Yeah,
saying that on the
because-
last show that I was like, it's too much.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get left behind. Yeah.
But that's
The
the way
only
these
way
types
that
of
I
games
keep
are.
up with anything
And that
is
sucks.
that Archon Sherpas me through it. That's like the only way that I get anything accomplished.
You got like that with
They're
Destiny
organic.
too.
Yeah.
So it's not
Yeah.
your standard play it when you can Fallout.
And
It's
and the
definitely a lot
thing
of stuff in
the
there.
thing about
You're
Fallout
not
70
alone.
Fallout 76 is that if it comes in, it's there. If you miss it, it's not going to be there forever. So you've missed it and you can't go back to it like you could in every other Fallout game that was ever made. So it makes me kind of sad. Like if I miss Fosnaut, I miss it. I got to wait a whole year to do it again. And who knows if it's going to be here next year. Like
It's okay.
Yeah, I've always heard people talk about Foshnart and Meat Week, and I've never experienced them.
Yeah.
They're worth it. If you can catch it this time around, it's worth
I'm
checking out.
probably the only person on the planet that doesn't really love Fashionok. But
I just like
okay.
to say fashnashed.
We'll get yelled at.
We had an angry comment regarding the pronunciation of Foshnosh, and I do hope you realize that just means I'm going to double down on.
Yeah,
on
I like
pronouncing Fosh.
I would
know
also
how to
like to
say it.
point out that Bittrash Riot is in the chat right now, so behave yourselves in properly pronouncing.
Right, I have to speak properly. So uns und was sind...
No, don't do that. No, that.
Oh no.
I don't know. I thought that was pretty good.
Oh, see, you made him mad now. He's mad.
Don't talk about the wall. Little Faulty Towers reference. Anyway.
So what actually have you been doing in 76 then, Sarah?
Nothing. No.
But I thought you said you were playing it.
I started a new character on Xbox. I talked about it on the last games. I got my gaming bed set up, so that means that I have to play on Xbox now instead of PS4. So
You've left me.
I've left. I'm sorry. The deal is, like, my 7-year-old took over my PS4. This is my life now. So I had to get a dirty old Xbox out of the closet. I actually had to borrow it from my nephew. But I set up a new character.
That's
I'm
a
just
true
going through the main.
sacrifice.
Yeah,
That's
it's
a true
love.
sacrifice.
Love.
Yeah.
It's love.
So you've created a new character.
Created a new character. I just got her up to level 20, so now the overseer will, like, acknowledge my presence.
Oh, that's such a
I'll be
slog,
starting-
right?
I know. Well, I didn't even go see her because Andrew from the Fallout feed went and saw her pre-level 20, and he said she was just really rude. So I just knew not even to deal with her.
As she does kind of blow you off. Yeah.
Yeah.
She does. She's rude about it. Yeah.
Tells you to go get some experience out there.
Yeah. So that and building a camp. I've never been a very good builder, and so I'm making myself a pretty little house with a contemporary bundle that I love.
Right? It's
That's
so
about it.
good.
Contemporary bundle is just the
I
best.
love it.
Isn't it?
So good. It's so good.
Yeah, the contemporary bundle, I may have built my house a little bit too large. There's a wraparound veranda.
I mean, you have to.
So
Yeah,
Well, I
me
mean,
too.
it's West Virginia. It's Appalachia. It has to have a wraparound porch.
yeah.
Mhm.
And wind
Where else
chimes.
are you gonna drink your tea?
And wind chimes. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
They
can't-
have those
I
weird
can't
floaters now that kind of look
Ugh.
like wind chimes,
Floaters.
right?
Yeah.
I don't think they make it.
They just pop out of nowhere. You're going around the game. You're like, oh, we're battling our super mutants. Just boom, 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 and then suddenly there's floaters involved. It's like, where did they come from?
Yeah.
This is not what I signed up for.
I will say though that I cannot
And they multiply.
stand. I can't stand the wind chimes.
Really?
I love wind chimes.
But
I
it's
love
it's like an IRL thing. Like I burn all the wind chimes.
Fair enough.
Oh.
Like
What?
wind
No
chimes,
wind chimes
there's
on the
no
back porch.
no
Wind
wind
chimes
chimes in my
either.
house.
Did a wind chime hurt you as a child?
I
Why?
just don't like that constant dinging in the background.
So beautiful.
Yeah.
So
I
beautiful.
love it.
I like
love
the
it.
big bamboo ones or the wood
Yes,
ones.
Oh,
the
I
deeper
love
noises,
those.
deeper noises.
Those are my favorite.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like the little ones that they tie to the tops of doors.
You get
like
it.
The
You get
little
it.
arm. Yeah, I totally do.
Mhm.
I think
I
it comes
have-
from working in a store that had one.
It's
and every
piercing.
Time someone would open the door,
Yeah.
it'd be like, "Ding-a-ling." Oh no, someone's here.
I had like a little set that was probably like maybe 8 inches long. The longest one was like 8 inches long, so it was a tiny one. I found it in my basement, and I was like, oh, I like wind chimes. I'll hang them up. And then the other day, my wife came home. She's like, I have a present for you, and they're like, like 13-inch long wind chime things. So it's like, oh, goody goodies, and I have those hung up too. It's all dissonant, but I love it.
Such a dad.
It's so funny.
I have a big
So
wind
what?
chime on my
By the
porch.
way, I'm pissed. My hummingbird feeder apparently that I just got
See?
leaks. I'm
See?
mad.
Oh, no.
Summer is here. If you listen really closely, you can hear all the dads saying how good the rain is going to help their lawns.
That's not true. If I listen really closely, I can hear really terrible country music coming from my neighbors and then getting drunk and yelling at each other. Actually, I don't.
Oh,
have to
my
listen
neighbors
closely
do
to
that
at all.
too. My neighbors do that too.
There's
What a
this
thing
weird.
to bond over.
Anyways,
No, it's really fun. I'm really looking forward to the 4th of July because all of our neighbors lit off fireworks starting next week. And and it will go through Christmas.
They're celebrating the 4th of July.
America is so strange.
One of my neighbors has a cannon, and the other one loves tannerite, and I cannot wait till this year.
They have a
Wow.
cannon.
They have it's a cannon. You're allowed to own cannons. You just fill them with gunpowder and wadding, so it just makes a loud bang.
The high school that I went to had a cannon.
Okay. All right.
Out here we have the pumpkin cannons. They do the annual pumpkin chunkin contest.
Nice.
And they have a category for like trebuchets and then they also have a category for cannons, which is really entertaining.
Awesome.
Sherry, what have you been playing?
I too have been playing Fallout 76, or also known as building my camp game, because I've become a bit obsessed with it.
The theme here.
So mostly it's building camp and like then running out of materials like logs and stuff like that. So then I have to go out and quest so I can get more junk and stuff, and just then go back and build my camp and fuss around and change things. But I met the I finally met the overseer for the first time the other night. I'm only up to level 34.
Yeah.
And this is the main character I started at the game's launch. So I've been a bit in and out of it over the last few years. And I've been playing Animal Crossing as well. I haven't actually played Animal Crossing for actually over a week, and I dropped back into it. Yeah, I dropped back into it yesterday and this morning, and last night for the first time, because I'm on the anyone who has experience with the new Animal Crossing games knows that depending on where you live in the world, there's the Northern Hemisphere or the Southern Hemisphere. So for the first time last night, because I'm on the Southern Hemisphere in the game, for the first time last night, I encountered a tarantula. Tarantula 1, Sherry 0.
Oh no.
Those tarantulas are beasts. Oh, they're tough.
Yeah, I thought I'd have it too, because I got that because we had the scorpions, and I thought I got the hang of this. I got this. No.
No.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Sarah Saylor, what have you been playing?
Okay, I have been playing. I know this is gonna shock y'all. It's just really, really gonna shock you. Fallout 76.
Oh my gosh. We should have had you guys on next week.
I have also. Have you all ever had your ass just absolutely handed to you by a 6-year-old in a video game?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
I've played Call of Duty. Yeah.
Wait. Oh, what is Sea of Thieves for 500? Thank you.
So my husband purchased Power Rangers Battle for the Grid. Have you all played it? It's a fighting game.
No. Oh, of course, every day.
Yes.
What is it?
It is a fighting game, like a Mortal Kombat style fighting game, but it's Power Rangers.
Does it take you back to your Punch-Out origins that you're telling us about?
A little bit, yeah, a little bit. But yeah, so Toby, my son, was like, hey, you have to play with me today. And I was like, okay. And he's like, we're going to play this game. And I was like, okay. So for over an hour, he destroyed me. Well, what happened was I started off pretty strong, and you get to pick 3 characters, and your 3 characters fight the other person's 3 characters. And so I put together like an all-girl posse, and the first time I won. And he's like, okay, you need to have some boys on your team. He's like, it's not fair. You have to have some boys on your team. And I'm going to tell you, whenever I introduced boys to the squad, that's whenever everything went downhill. He thought it was awesome. But yeah, he destroyed me. But that's the only other game that I played. But Fallout 76, of course. A lot of camp building. I've rebuilt my camp like 5 times since the contemporary bundles came out.
And
wow.
I'm totally okay, and you're totally okay with it, right?
Oh yeah, totally.
Like I tear down my house. I'm like, I'll build a new one, and I just like am totally okay with tearing down my house.
I like to rebuild.
Which is weird because in every other game where there's an intense building, I just can't tear down what I built. Like I'll go and build something else somewhere else. But Fallout, I think the way that it is,
My thing is, I'm collecting all this stuff. What else am I going to do with it?
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
That's a lot of it. And I mean, you can put it back in new ways with some of the same stuff. You can still have your favorite things scattered about your camp.
Yeah.
I get attached, but that's why I have multiple characters. Keep a camp 2, 3, 4 months usually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very cool. Jen, what have you been playing?
Well, so I've been playing a lot of Stardew Valley. I know we talk about this every Dames episode, and every Dames episode,
Stardew stories.
I tell you how Stardew has traumatized me a little bit because of the lives. I ruined a relationship, guys, in Stardew.
Oh no.
So the only thing I can craft that can successfully win me friends is coffee. I make coffee.
Sounds legit.
Sounds just like real life.
To meet everybody,
it checks
right?
out, man.
So the best place to meet everybody is to go to the bar. So
sounds also like
bar,
real life.
And I hand out coffee to people like some kind of weird Stardew temperance society. And I have been giving coffees to these people, and the more hearts I earn, because coffee wins me hearts, coffee wins my heart because I love it. But I give out these coffees, and there's been this relationship between Emily and Clint, who's the blacksmith, and Emily works at the bar.
Yes,
right. Very often.
Yes.
Like, yeah, I hang out at the bar. So with my coffee, I don't buy anything from them. I just hang out there and hand them things. It's so weird. So we have this. Emily sends me. She comes to my door and tells me, "You got to come to the mayor's house." And I'm like, "Okay." So I go to the mayor's house, and I'm not going to tell you all the things that happen in there because I think it's quite entertaining. But at the end of it, Clint is like, "Oh, I see how this goes." I have been working so hard to give him the confidence to ask her out.
Oh,
and
no.
I had too many hearts with Emily, and now she pines for me, but I'm married to Abigail. I am married to the weird purple-haired game-playing girl who hangs out in cemeteries and likes it when it rains. I mean, she's basically me in the game. I love her. But yeah, I ruined the relationship, and it's heartbreaking, but I can't believe how many hours I've been in this game and how many characters I've been playing, and I'm still getting these weird cutscenes I've never seen before. It's just such an incredibly deep game.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, so
I love hearing your Stardew stories.
The relationships that I've ruined. I'm building a flock of dinosaurs to start my own Jurassic Park in my farm. I'm selling dinosaur mayonnaise. It's very weird.
I can't wait to find out if Abigail finds out that Clint has been sleeping with her twin sister and they have a daughter together. Like
someone's gonna get chained up in the basement, and then there's gonna be some like weird resurrection thing that'll happen. Yeah, it is very soap opera like, but it's really entertaining. So I love Stardew. I play that all the time, and then so Stardew is kind of my feel good game, and a friend of mine did a little drive-by my house, and in my mailbox she put her copy of Death Stranding.
Ooh.
Yeah, and she said, she sent me a text message and said, "Go carry some packages." So so I disinfected it because it's sitting in my mailbox.
Good job.
For a couple days.
Well done.
And I stuck it in my PS4, and it wasn't the feel-good game that I needed. It was quite harrowing. But I have to say, so we've been here. I've been here in this house for many, many, many weeks, and now I'm working from here. And it was so good to feel a new environment. Like I didn't know where things were. I didn't know what was happening, but it was so good and kind of exhilarating to feel something new and see something new. And I feel really, really bad because I'm poor, oh my gosh, his name.
Norman Reedus.
Thank you. Poor Norman Reedus at my hands is stumbling and falling all over the place. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. And he goes, sorry, I'm so sorry. And he's apologizing and I'm apologizing and I feel bad every time he falls. But
is he apologizing to the jar baby?
He's apologizing, yeah, to the jar baby. So I make him stumble and fall because I'm terrible at controlling him. And
what a weird game.
It is such a strange game, but oh my gosh, the light and the textures, like
it's gorgeous.
That rain when it falls and you can see it soak into the fabric.
Time fall?
The time fall when it happens, and every time like those weird viscous creatures come up from the slime. It reminds me of that episode of TNG, you know, where Tasha Yar.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
No.
That's what it feels like.
Freaking Tasha Yar is like the worst character in the whole.
No, that's the name of one of my cats.
Oh no!
Worf and Tasha.
Divert, vendor. Divert. Run. Change the subject.
Data's cool. Data's cool.
Data's cool. So anyway, I've been really enjoying Death Stranding as much as I can enjoy feeling like traumatized again by that game, and then 76. And I don't think of 76 as a video game anymore. I kind of think of it as a lifestyle.
Wrong.
I live there, and you know, when I take breaks I took a break today and I went and hunted some mole miners with Dwight, and you know, it's where I meet my friends and we do stuff and hang out. So
lovely.
Yeah, that's my gameplay.
Thank you, Jen. Rick, what have you been playing?
Well, I've been watching The Expanse again, and I was like, I need to play Mass Effect, but I can't play Mass Effect 1 because it's a little dated. So I was like, I'll download and install Mass Effect 2. So I downloaded and installed Mass Effect 2 and 3, and I was contemplating how I was going to approach this because I'm not playing 1. I can't roll over my character into 2, so I'll just create a new character. And since I'm watching The Expanse, the main characters, Amos, all the characters are great, but I'll make the male shepherd and we'll see how this goes. So I create the male shepherd. I go to the little like slider to make the faces, and it's just all not good. So I go to the default face because you can't really do anything other than that. And so I go to the default face, pick my character. I load in, watch all the cutscenes. You know, I wake up after surgery, and the mechs are attacking, and I start having a conversation with Jacob, and you know, Jacob's like, "Hey, Shepard, it's great to see you awake. Although I'm surprised to see you awake. How are you?" And my male Shepard goes, "I'm fine. How are you?" And I'm like, "Why is he talking so fast?" And then Jacob's like, "I'm surprised Miranda has you up." And he goes, "I need to know some things." And I'm like, "What is going on?" And I realized that's right. The male shepherd sucks. So I quit. What?
He got better. Mark Mir, you know, it got better as it went, but it's so different than what you're used to with Jennifer Hale. Totally agree.
And I was like, so forget this. Re-rolled a female character, started new. And I was like, well, wait a second. Caden is alive. Why would I keep Caden alive? Like, what is going on here? So
of course you choose Caden.
No, you choose
Ashley. Caden is
every time.
Ashley is horrible. Ashley is the worst.
Ashley's fine. But so anyway, I look up and see what's going on with the game. And apparently, if you roll a new character without importing your ME1 character, Rex is dead. You let the council die, and Caden is alive. And I'm like, this just isn't going to work for me because all this is wrong. And so I looked at I started another character. And by the way, I went through all the cutscenes and I started battling all the mechs and got to like the same point. with no, actually, I got off the station with the female character and then decided to look that up. So anyway, I rolled a new character and decided to try to import ME1, even though I didn't have it installed. And apparently, it still found my save file for my female shepherd from Mass Effect 1, level 46. Rex is alive, the council's alive, and Ashley's alive. And I'm like, there we go. I'll start my new character with that. So within 1 hour, I rolled 3 characters on Mass Effect 2 today. There was that. But beyond that, I've been obsessed with Hunt, as I've talked about before. And the other night, I was going to play with my buddy, my 2 other buddies. We were going to go in as a threesome, and we were going to play Hunt. And I'm like, all right, let's do this. We're all loaded in. We get our characters. And we get to this area, and I pull up my dark sight, and I hear the big bad in the big building. I don't know if any of you if any of you gals have played Hunt or know what it is, but basically it's like a battle royale bounty hunter game. So it's PvE elements. So there's like zombies and dogs and other bad creatures that are AI controlled. And then there's one big bad guy, or sometimes 2 big bad guys on the map, like a boss. And the objective is to go find clues, find the boss, kill the boss, pick up the bounty, and get out alive. Now, the caveat to that is there's other actual people playing as bounty hunters that are competing for the same boss. And there's other things going on. So like when you kill the boss and you start to banish it, everyone knows where you are in the map. So then you have to fight off other people as well. It's a really cool
Sounds
game. It takes
incredibly fun.
It's terrifying. It's very old school. It takes place in the 1890s, so it's like all the guns are clunky, and it's just a really cool type of play. So we get to the location. We accidentally stumble onto where the bounty is, and so the 3 of us are like, let's set up here and wait for other people to come. We'll ambush them as they try to attack the guys. So I'm hiding in a building. I take a bear trap and I set it next to the door. My buddy's outside. I can see his like outline. You can see the outlines of your teammates. And I see him running, and all of a sudden I hear this boom, and he just goes and just falls on the ground. I'm like, oh, he just got leveled by something. I don't know what, but he got leveled by another player. And I pop up on this little stool, and I look out the window, and there's a bad guy, like another actual player in front of me. And I fire 6 shots with my lever action, miss every single one of them point blank. And I'm like, this is how this is going to go. Fun times ahead, I'm sure. So I start to reload. My buddy on the roof dies, so it's just me against 3 other people. I reload, the door opens, the guy gets hit by my bear trap, and he retreats. I'm like, perfect. Pull out my pistol, run out the door, shoot him dead. Great. Turn around, mow down the other guy. I'm like, great, 2 dead. This is fun. 3rd guy's missing. I take cover behind a little hay bale or something, and I hear one of my teammates say, I think he's rezzing his partner. So I turn the corner, and sure enough, he's getting his other player up. So I start unloading from the hip with my lever action. The guy rezzes his dude, drops him. Or no, he rezzes his guy. I kill him again, and there's 1 guy left, and I finally finish him off. And it was the first time in this game where I've killed an entire team of hunters by myself. And it was like,
nice.
Night is going to go great.
Very nice.
I'm on fire.
Well done.
Yeah, I was very happy. And I'm like,
Rick, you should stream some of that.
I will.
I'd like to see you stream it.
Yeah.
I admire people who go into games with plans, because I'm like, hey, I have a stick and I'm just going to go.
Oh, we don't have plans. This just kind of is willy-nilly happy. So we were lucky. So we res everyone and we get out alive. We get the bounty and we get out. So it was a great game. We thought this is how tonight's going to go. Well, the 3rd guy drops off. It was just me and my other buddy. We're playing duos, 2 men per team. Cool. So we go in. It's nighttime. We get ambushed by another team of 2. My buddy and I are hiding behind a wood or behind a dirt mound. He's on the left, I'm on the right, and I'm sneaking around the right. And I see the enemy off. He doesn't see me, and I'm like, I got a great shot. And I hear my buddy go, dynamite out. And I hear, huh? And I look down, and I'm like, what? Boom! And it blows me up. And I'm like, wait a minute now. So this dude whips this dynamite bundle over the mound towards me, thinking it went past me, and yells dynamite out as I look down and it explodes in my face.
That's that scene in Red versus Blue when Caboose throws the grenade in the wall. Like,
I was so mad. And I'm like, why did you I was yelling at him. I wasn't mean, but I was like, what were you thinking of? And then he rezzed me, and he's convinced he's in the right because he rezzed me, therefore we got extra points.
Well, I mean, he rezzed you.
He did res me, and we ended up killing the 2 other guys. But still, the point remains. You don't like it was. We were arguing about it all week. I kept sending him memes of like, team kill memes. It was great. But Shalene, that was the story I wanted to tell you of just this epic team kill. Like
so good.
You should should stream it. I would like to watch it.
Maybe I'll stream it Sunday.
Yeah. I'd like to see it.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun. It's fun.
There was a time where I wanted to play it, and I wanted to play it with you, but I can't get past the bugs. There's just
what bugs?
There's
these flies.
There's these bugs, and they crawl all over your screen, and they're like cockroaches, and they make noises.
No, I don't do bugs.
I'm good.
No, there's nothing cross on your screen. You just hear flies.
Yeah, I can't.
Although leeches spurt stuff on you.
Does anything scuttle? It's the scuttling noise.
Leeches. Well, no, the leech is more like around.
Stop.
No.
On second thought, don't stream it.
Actually, if you play by yourself, it is quite a scary game. I mean, it's not.
I do like the sort of
really nice lore behind it.
The steampunk feel to it, though.
Well, they kept it very realistic. Like the weapons are realistic for the most part. It's not very fast gameplay. When you fire a pistol, you go bang.
Yeah.
Pull it back because it's single action. So there's like a good 3 seconds as you're like running around and ducking each other's fires. There's like a 3-second interval between shots usually. So it's definitely a very interesting, unique game. There's nothing else like it.
Yeah.
And it works too.
Yeah.
Thunder, what have you been playing?
Well, I've been I really love driving. Oh, I can't. Oh, there, got it. The wheel, you guys. Driving sims. I've gotten back into ETS and ATS. Actually, I should say that I have fired up ATS for the first time. So I've played.
What does ATS stand for?
I've played a lot of Euro Truck Simulator. You guys know that. And American Truck Simulator was just always this thing that I had it, but I never really played it because it never really worked well with my wheel. And I figured out how to get it to work. So I've been playing a lot of American Truck Simulator, which has been really interesting because I love California. I've been to California like more times than I can count. And being cooped up.
Too.
What's that?
Said we love you too.
Yeah. I've been cooped up in this house, and my partner and I were supposed to go to Indian Wells for tennis in Palm Springs in March, but that was canceled. We were there last year. It was amazing. Saw Serena Williams play and Novak Djokovic and all the greats, Roger Federer, blah, 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 blah. And there's just this thing about being in California that just everything just kind of floats away. All your problems everything is fine.
It's the weed.
Maybe. Anyways, American Truck Simulator makes me feel like I'm back in California because the I-10 is like it's like crazy similar to how I remember it when I was in California and driving on the I-10. So I've been playing a lot of ATS and driving from Arizona up through Flagstaff and like down through San Diego, and so it's been really cool. Nothing has made me feel more American than driving a big rig in American Truck Simulator, listening to like good old country music, like through the countryside. Like it's just been awesome. I should stream it actually.
You are so Canadian right now.
Yeah, I was about to say that's the most Canadian thing I think I've ever heard.
I don't know. It's just like it's just this thing about. I don't know. I think I was
Are you like eating hamburgers while you do it and like eating apple pie? Or...
I think I was a trucker.
What we do, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Starting a barbecue.
America is a fascinating place for Canadians, and I think Patrick Rulia can kind of attest to this. We're the same, but we're really, really different. And when I go to California, Palm Springs is this really cool place. It's like very mid-mod. All the buildings are really low. Nothing is really remodeled. You feel like you're stepping back into the 50s. I just love it. It's so good. And ATS kind of brings it all back for me, but yeah. So I've been playing that. I've also delved like crazy into Sea of Thieves. Been playing a lot of Sea of Thieves. I've hit Pirate Legend.
Whoa.
Yes.
Very nice.
Shalene and I were playing, did some Athena runs. Shalene, did you get the sales?
No, I haven't gotten those Athena sales yet.
Gotta get
I don't
those
know
sales.
if I am because there's all this Fallout stuff happening.
I think the deadline is passed for that, but I'm not sure.
Really?
Oh
no, did I miss it?
I thought it was the 22nd.
Oh, I'm gonna be
That's
sad.
the day.
I'm gonna be sad.
I have to double check. I've been playing a lot of Sea of Thieves, and I've actually kind of reached out to the community and played with people in the community. A lot of streamers. I've played with Teach Courage, who is this like adorable grandma who just started playing video games like 6 months ago, and she's like this streamer, and she plays Sea of Thieves, and she has all these people that watch her channel, and she's so popular, and she's so fun to play with, and I've been playing with her a bit. It's been a good time. But yeah, I got Pirate Legend, which was really exciting. I've been watching the Twitch drops to get the Obsidian Hull and the sails and the flag. Next week is the masthead, so don't forget about that. And I've just been doing a lot of Thieves Haven Athena quests to get Athena up, because I really want to get all of the outfits. I finally got the Athena Concertina, which really I just wanted to say Athena Concertina, but I don't know if any of you ladies play Sea of Thieves. Do any of you play Sea of Thieves?
I have
Variously through you guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know. Sea of Thieves is
Around
just...
about when it launched.
I love it, and I hate it, and I hate it, and I love it, and it's just this ongoing Stockholm syndrome that I have. I did my first Fort of the Damned this week, which was a little bit crazy. So you have to get all these different color lanterns. You got to get all these different color lanterns and get them on your ship. And then at the Fort of the Dam, they have each like skeleton statue has these different color of lanterns. And blue is being eaten by a shark. Purple is being eaten by a snake. Green is being killed by skellies. Pink is being killed by another player. Red is being killed by fire. And white is lightning. And you got to get all these different colors before you can even activate the fort.
So the achievements are to die.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah, you got to die. You got to die by these things in order to get the flame from the Ferry of the Damned. So we ended up getting all the flames. We did Fort of the Damned, and when you open that vault, oh man, the loot that is in there is just so good. There is so much stuff. It's a lot of fun, but it takes a huge effort of people. So I'm really excited. You know, the cats are really cute, the new updates. There's a new update coming, I think, at the end of the month, May 27th or 28th, which hopefully will fix a lot of the bugs that we're experiencing. I was in a sloop by myself. Oh my God, you guys are going to love this. So I'm in a sloop by myself. I'm doing some merchant, you know, hauling some chickens around. Everything's fine. I'm listening to Bob Marley. I'm having a rum and coke. Life is good. And this brig rolls up, and they're flying the Reaper flag, and I'm like, great, I'm totally gonna get sunk. Like, it's over.
Don't fear the
I've
Reaper.
got $50,000 worth of chickens on my boat, and they're gonna sink me and take my flag and all my chickens, and I'm like so mad about this, right? All of a sudden, this megalodon, this giant shark, rolls up and starts attacking my boat. So I ran to the front of the boat where the Meg was, and I hopped on the harpoon, and I harpooned the Meg, and the Meg, like, shot me through the water far away from the brig. Like, I was gone.
Wow.
And it was like, they were gone, and I was like, this is amazing! And I didn't have to worry about them after that. It was great. Yeah, I cashed in all my stuff. It was so simple. Yeah. Last night I streamed some Reapers. I did some Reapers, which is like, I don't know, Rick and Shalene, if you guys have done any Reapers flags.
No.
You have to be a pirate, right?
So the Reaper is the faction where you go and you have to sink other ships. It's like the hardcore PvP faction. When I was doing chickens, it was like running like just merchant stuff, like running plants and rum and chickens, and it's very like detached from the world. But the Reaper, raising the Reaper flag and flying your ship as a Reaper flag, is a totally different experience. It's the PvP of the game that I've been avoiding all these years. And you guys know me, like I just PvP in this game. I just can't do it. I hate it. I've raged quit before because of PvP. And we sunk 5 ships in 30 minutes and it was glorious.
I'm shocked. That's not
had it in you.
of you.
You and who? Let's not forget that he lit our White House on fire, so it's in there. It's in there.
So I
behind all the apologies.
I got introduced. Teach introduced me to this wonderful Canadian streamer. Her name is Jade Someone, and this guy that lives in the U.S. He's in the military. His name is Nefariat. Super nice people. And we hopped on a brig and flew the Reaper's flag. Nefariat is really good at PvP.
Wow.
And we sunk 5 ships in 30 minutes. And it was like amazing. We made 250,000 in gold last night. It was like so glorious. Yeah, that was some of the best Sea of Thieves I've ever done.
That is
brilliant. Yeah. Lots of good stories in Sea of Thieves. I'm excited to see what the new content is coming. I just finished a survey actually for Sea of Thieves telling them that they need a PvE private server world, but that'll never happen. So, lastly, just very quickly, sorry. I bought and played Maneater today. Briefly, I wanted to play it so that I could talk about it on the show. I don't know if you guys have heard about Maneater.
Yes.
I'm interested to hear about this man-eating
Is this
game.
about a shark that evolves?
This is about
a trailer.
Okay, so here I'll just play the trailer for you guys so you can see it. But Maneater, it's like this glorious game. You start out as baby shark and you basically have to swim through all of these oceans as a shark, eating people and like
I love it.
fish and like having your own
yesterday.
life and your own stories, and it's so awesome.
Yeah, I thought that too.
I've reached teen stage. I'm now a teen shark, and I've been swimming around, biting ships and killing crocodiles and chewing people on the beach, and it's just like
people shoot at you.
It's this topsy-turvy world where you're not a human character and you're playing as a shark.
A ship with an explosive.
Yeah.
That's what he's
Your
like.
Jaws, basically.
It's so good.
This is a game for a misanthrope.
And
for sure.
and
So,
there's
like living in a sci-fi movie. Sci-fi movie.
There's this main character who this shark gets caught by this fisherman. His name is called Scaly Pete. And Scaly Pete catches this massive shark. Turns out that the shark is pregnant and pulls the shark out. You're the shark. And you bite off Scaly Pete's arm, and that's sort of the intro. That's the intro, and so you're the baby, and you escape off in the water with his arm, and then that's how the story begins. And
that's awesome.
You know that you're gonna come up against Scaly Pete once again in the future, but you got to go through all these other fishermen and hunters to get to him, and like all these stories, and there's all these achievements that you have to do. And things that you have to collect, and the game is very rich in terms of story content and exploration. So, yeah.
Well, maybe Scaly Pete, by the time that you meet up with him again, he's learned to exfoliate and he's not scaly anymore.
What is he, Shiny Pete? Pete?
Moisturized Pete.
It's really funny because like I've been playing a lot of Sea of Thieves lately, and I've always been thinking like, how cool would it be to be a shark? And like be able to like swim through the water and like chew people to bits, and then like bam, this game pops up out of nowhere that I've never heard about. I'm like, yes, take my money. I'm totally gonna play this, and it turned out to be pretty cool. So
that is
awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
I feel like my son would like that game.
I was thinking that my kid would love that game.
How fantastic.
What about you, Shalene?
Well, I've been playing lately a ton of Don't Starve Together. This started with the stream that Rick and I did a couple of weeks ago. We played Don't Starve Together. It was really fun. After the stream, Archon jumped on with us. And then I've played several sessions with Archon. And I don't remember. Have I told you guys? I don't think we've had a podcast. about the saga of the Tallbird egg.
I was there for that, Shalene.
Yes, I know you were there for that. The beginning of that. You have
I'm
not
pretty
heard
certain
the
it was
conclusion.
on the stream, by the way.
Yes.
And the dames have heard about it, but not on a podcast yet. No.
Right.
Yeah, we want
right.
to know. We want to know.
So I found a Tallbird nest when I was streaming with Rick, and I thought, I wonder if I can take the egg. So I took the egg and ran with it. The Tallbird chased me for a long time. Chat was telling me to drop the egg. It was never going to stop chasing me. But I eluded the Tallbird. I evaded the Tallbird. I had my prize of the Tallbird egg, and I took it back to camp. And I was like, okay, what do I do with this now? Do I eat it? Can I hatch it? What's the thing? And I was told by Chad, I believe it was Archin, who said that I could do either of those things. I could eat it or I could hatch it. Well, of course I'm going to hatch it, right? Of course I'm going to hatch it, plainly. So I put it by the fire. I'm tending the egg. I love the egg. The egg is precious. And the egg got too cold, unfortunately, and it broke. And it was a pile of wet goo after that, and that was really unfortunate. I was devastated, but you know what, I was not dissuaded. I was not discouraged. And I went back to that Tallbird nest and I claimed another egg. And this egg, I was watching it, was going better. I knew now the signs of what it looked like when the Tallbird egg got too cold. So, it like sweats and gets really hot if it's too close to the fire sometimes. And if you have it too far away, it gets cold and it shivers. And so it was in one of the cycles where it was not at the optimal temperature, and I had to pick it up and move it. And I went to pick it up and I clicked wrong and I ate the egg.
Oh,
just the whole thing raw.
You're young. That's terrible.
Spoiled baby Tallbird.
I felt so bad. And I believe it was shortly after that we ended the stream. So a couple of days later, I'm playing Don't Starve together with Archin, and we're building a successful little homestead. We have a couple of crock pots and we have some farms, and it's going really well. We're building a successful little homestead, and I'm coming back towards camp, and Archin tells me, hey, Shalene, you'll want to be careful if you're coming back towards camp. There's a Tallbird nearby. And I'm like, does it have an egg? And I ask him, like, does it have an egg? And I get back to camp at that moment, and he drops the egg at my feet.
Aww.
Like a big hero. Just drops this egg at my feet. Like, he's like this? The timing was perfection. It was so good. And I'm like, oh, thank you. You're the best. And that was, of course, why he was warning me about the Tallbird, because he was the one who had drawn it to camp by running away with its egg. Mm-hmm. So I was so careful with this egg. I protected this egg. All of my life was focused on the raising of this egg. This egg was going to hatch. Third time would be the charm. And I wasn't helping at all, really, in our survival. I was just staying there watching over the egg. That's all I was doing. Archin was keeping us alive by himself as I watched the egg. And the egg hatched. And the egg happened to hatch just as Archin walked by. And the baby Tallbird, the small bird, it imprinted on Archin. It imprinted on him. I was a little devastated. I felt like it was the equivalent of like when the mom is the one spending all the time like taking care of the child, and while the dad's at work, and then the dad like the child's first word is dada. I felt like it was the equivalent of that. So I named her Phoebe, and we fed her seeds, and Phoebe had a lovely life for a very short time. But then Phoebe and her father were set upon by spiders in the woods, and she didn't make it. Oh, no. R.I.P.
Sorry for
Phoebe.
your loss.
Yes, thank you. Phoebe broke my heart and then she died. So that's
Sounds like a kid.
the saga of the small
Did
bird.
Archon live or die? Because you left that part out. You only care about
Who
Phoebe.
cares about Phoebe?
He lived. He made it back home alive.
All right.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I was a little cross with him that Phoebe died, but
I mean, what you just described is like Ark in a nutshell.
Yeah, pretty much.
I have literally spent 13 hours watching a bird to lay an egg, only to go and pick the egg up and go and put it on the fire, and then like when I go to put it on the fire, I accidentally eat it instead.
I've heard so
and then
many
it's
horror
like,
stories from you guys.
and then it's like
about
12 hours just gone, just like that,
it's
just
terrible.
gone.
It's terrible.
And the funny thing is like in Ark, like I end up just like walling off an island as to avoid animals in that game.
Mm-hmm.
So I never have I'm never disappointed.
I feel your pain, Shalene. I feel it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was rough. I'm still a little sad about Phoebe. I just I wanted her to grow into a healthy tall bird, and I wanted to see her flourish, but it wasn't meant to be. So
I wonder if she could have been like a guard bird. You know, like what was going to happen when she got big?
I think eventually she becomes a little hostile. But she does follow you around adorably when she is a small bird. And I don't know if you guys know what the tall bird looks like, but it's like a round torso that's also a head with long spindly legs and one giant eyeball. But when she's little, the legs are not so long and spindly because she's little.
Yeah.
And she curls up to sleep in a little
Oh my
ball with her little
Lanta!
eye closed. It's so cute.
Tall
It's so
bird.
cute.
It reminds me of Tuca and Birdie. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that show.
Yeah, this one with the sexy legs that you're looking at, Vendor, is not accurate. There we go. There we go.
Somebody got a little creative with their tall bird.
Yes, that's the Rule 34 website.
No, Tuca and
Yes.
Birdie is this is Tuca and Birdie. Yeah,
So you
the
have
legs.
to raise this thing while surviving in this harsh game that when it eventually gets old, you have to go all old yeller on it.
No, I think we could just let her go. You know, let her fly, let her leave the nest.
She just wanders away.
Yes, and we can know as proud parents that we did right by Phoebe.
Aw.
You're gonna go steal her egg.
The circle of egg stealing. I love it.
Exactly. But yeah, lots of Don't Starve Together. That game it's so brutal and it's so enjoyable. Shaven beefaloes, just trying to survive the winter. It's brilliant.
Shaving?
Yes, you shave the
Beefaloes?
beefaloes
Yeah.
and you can use their wool to make a nice warm vest and a winter hat.
Well, what do they wear then?
My vest,
Yeah, they're
see my
naked
vest.
and they're very sad. Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't shave them when their butts are pink. That's what you taught us, Shalene.
Yeah, never shave them when they have the red butts.
Yeah.
They don't like shaven in general.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
So
Wow.
I've also been playing a bit of Fallout 76. By a bit, I mean a lot. Lots of Fallout 76. Won't go too deeply into that because we have a whole other show just for that. I will mention one funny moment. Yesterday, we were hunting some of the mole miner treasure hunters. By we, I mean Archon and I. Probably that's obvious by now. And we were at, what's it called? Camden Park?
Yep. With
Archon
Mr.
was-
Fuzzy and Fuzzy Brenda.
Brenda, yeah.
Archon was playing with an automatic weapon that had a really fast fire rate. I don't know what it was, like a light machine
Playing with
gun
an
or
automatic weapon.
And
West Virginia story checks out.
he shot it into the river and it made like the sprays of water just the water just sprayed up and I was like, oh, it's like the Bellagio in Las Vegas.
Aw.
So then he was making like the fountain show.
Did you sing along, like give it music and stuff? So it was a
It
full
was
show.
so fun. It was really fun.
Love it.
It was a very silly evening.
Did you plan a heist and steal all the money?
We should
Yeah,
have. We're getting
saw
to
that
that
written
part.
in the show notes, and I'm like,
Replica of the vault, you know.
Ocean's 11?
Matt Damon.
No, it's not an Ocean's 11. It's just the fountain show, the Las Vegas fountain show. I've been playing Jedi Fallen Order, and it's fantastic, you guys. It's so good. It's so good. This is the best Star Wars game in so long, so very long.
Really? You've been playing a Star Wars game. This is...
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if I've ever known you to even like Star Wars. This is a
I've
surprise
always liked
to me.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I've always liked Star Wars. I've enjoyed most of the movies. Some gripes with some of them, but I've enjoyed them more than not. I've watched Clone Wars, the whole series, like 6 times. Clone Wars is some of the best Star Wars, in my opinion. The Force Unleashed was one of my favorite games of all time, of the last generation. I love The Force Unleashed. And Jedi Fallen Order is really, really good. It gives me some big Uncharted vibes. It feels a little bit like Nathan Drake, but with a lightsaber and force powers. The story's very well done so far. I'm still pretty close to the beginning. I'm on like the 3rd planet, I think. The combat is not too brutal. I've heard it compared to a Dark Souls game, like a Souls-like game. The combat is not too brutal. I'm bad at video games. You guys know this. But I've had plenty of success. The Souls-like influence to me happens because of the meditations circles. You can sit in these meditation circles, commune with the Force, and it resets all the enemies. So to me, that's where the Souls-like influence comes in. But the combat is fast, it works, it's very smooth. You feel like you have the Force behind you when you fight in this game. It's very good. The platforming is fun. Very, very good. Quite enjoyed it. BD1 is your little droid companion. He's better than all other droids ever of all time. I love BD1.
He's
Would die for
adorable.
BD1. Yes. Love him. Of course, Animal Crossing New Horizons is a constant part of my life. I wouldn't have mentioned it, but I have a special thing to mention. My birthday was earlier this week. And Hazel, the unibrow squirrel, I kid you not, she literally threw me the best birthday party I've ever had in my life. Like, I'm not exaggerating here. These villagers, they made me a piñata. I got to hit the piñata. When it broke, there were cupcakes that came out. It was fantastic.
That sounds amazing.
There was dancing. There was a banner.
So I heard you tell this story to Archon, I think, when we were playing Nuclear Winter, but I popped in with, like, you were saying something about hitting a piñata and cupcakes falling out, and I genuinely was thinking, she must have had a dream.
No, it's Animal
I was like, this
Crossing.
must have been a dream, because who puts cupcakes in a piñata?
That sounds very messy.
Little adorable animals. They made me a piñata, and they gave me a stick. I got to hit the piñata. Cupcakes fell out, and then I had these cupcakes, and I could go share them with all the other animals on the island, and it was really sweet. It was very precious. It was a lovely,
Yes.
lovely.
Well, happy belated birthday, Shalene. I hope that it was a wonderful day for you. Yeah.
Thank you. It was a lovely day. I ended it with a nuclear winter session with Archon and Rick. So that was a lovely time. And that's my gameplay for the week. We do have an email. I think we're going to hold it for next time because we have gone a bit long. But right?
I've been up since 5.
Time does fly. Time does fly when you're having fun, and this was a lot of fun, you guys.
Yes, it was.
Having Worlds Collide and my 2 podcast groups here together has been a really wonderful experience for me, and
Yes.
I just want to thank you all for taking part and making this possible and being here today. So,
Thank you.
Yes,
It's
thank
been
you.
wonderful.
Thank you for having
It's been
us.
great.
It's been so fun.
Topsy turvy world. When we're on I want to say Damestack. Dames Who Game. Rick's gonna be Rourke, Shalene will be Shalone, and I'll be Vendar instead of Vendor. So
Rourke?
it's like flipped around.
Vendar of the robot people. I like it.
Yes.
lovely. Well, that Fallout show records right here next week. We will be talking all things Fallout, Fallout news. I will tell you more Fallout shenanigans, etc., etc. Rick, is there a Sunday stream?
Let's do some hunt.
Some hunt? Okay.
Maybe we can get
Hunt
Archon roped into this since he's
on
got the
Sunday.
game too.
Yeah, that'll work.
Sunday.
And I can commentate. And Dames, do you guys have anything you want to plug? Jen, I know you have
Art F76, that's right, that I do with Appalachia Howie. We're going to be launching something in the next couple weeks, so keep your peepers peeled.
And give us the elevator pitch. What is Art F76?
We are a kind of a hub for retweeting and consolidating projects. Some of the creativity in the Fallout 76 community. So we do community-wide projects. We'll issue kind of like your photo challenge, different build challenges, and art projects for people to do and participate in.
Lovely. Thank you, Jen. So follow them on Twitter at ArtF76. And Jess, would you like to tell us a little bit about the Wasteland HOA?
Sure. I got a couple of things to plug tonight. Super excited. So obviously people know about the Fallout feed. That's my weekly Fallout podcast. Check me over there, along with Dames. I'm also an agent of Wasteland Estates HOA. So the HOA is an in-game Fallout 76 camp evaluation and comedy troupe. We do a lot more, but check us out at wastelandestateshoa.com, Twitter at HOA Wasteland, twitch.tv, twitch.tv/HOATV. We stream every Tuesday through Friday, 9 to 11 Eastern. And we do camp evaluations a couple days a week. I actually have a talk show on the channel. So camp evals are Tuesdays and Thursdays. On Wednesdays, our talk show called Appalachia Tonight that I host. And we try to bring any number of community people from Appalachia. We either address a hot topic or a community member or another group. So for instance, I had Swift Kick in the Junk, a YouTuber who does some really creative builds on YouTube. And he's done a lot to help evolve building in Fallout. I had a pet summit on pets in Fallout 76 a couple weeks ago. We just had EAT, the establishment of Appalachian taste testers, on there. So we had some cannibals, which honestly, the closest equivalent I can think of to your whole eating your tall bird egg by accident is when you go to Stimpack a buddy and you accidentally cannibalize them.
Oh no!
It's a pretty horrible thing, and you end up apologizing for days. So yeah, and excitingly enough, I hope to have Art F76, our girl Pantagruelia and Appalachia Howie on the show soon.
Yeah,
you know, so we're gonna talk
Yes,
about
that'd be
that.
so fun.
Yeah, and tomorrow, oh my gosh, and one more thing. Besides HOA, I'm part of a group with the El Gato Pub where we have these cat fights we talked about on Dams. People have heard a little bit, where we're doing quarterly tournaments, and it's run by my friend Shredder, and that's elgatopub.com, twitch.tv/elgatopub. But tomorrow night is our finals for the spring tournaments, and I would love it if anyone wanted to tune in. Check that out. I'm going to be one of the announcers there for color commentary. Can't fight this time because I was a champion before, but it's a really fun stream, really good time. You might think, oh, I don't like boxing, but we try to make it enjoyable. And if you watch the stream, a lot of cool prizes, which I wanted to show my new Mr. Fuzzy Dog.
He's glorious.
Wonderful.
He's my friend.
So cute.
Is that an Etsy creation?
Actually, no. A company. It is kind of a boutique creation, but a smaller company did make them. So
Wonderful.
They did make several of them.
I want to collect all of the different kinds, including the Bumblebee Mr. Fuzzy. Yeah.
Unfortunately, you can't display them though.
Yeah.
Yeah, Orange Tie Mr. Fuzzy. There are so many great ones, and I love the Valentine's Heart Mr. Fuzzy. Have you seen that little guy?
Yes.
But Mr. Fuzzy is your friend. Mr. Fuzzy loves to play, and I love him. So anyway, we're giving away cool prizes and stuff like that, and I believe there's another Mr. Fuzzy doll up for winnings.
Ooh.
So
Lovely.
Yeah, tune in tomorrow night. I believe it starts at 9. I am not 100% positive on that.
Very cool. Very, very cool.
They did a fantastic job creating that.
Do any other dames have anything they'd like to plug? Any projects they're working on that I'm aware of? Okay. Vendor, I think you had a thing.
Yes, I do want to mention the WJLG In It Together COVID-19 Relief Fund, as we talked about at the beginning of the show. If you're interested in donating and dressing a healthcare worker with the proper protective equipment, the PPE that they need on the front lines to battle COVID-19, which is not going away. It's still here. It's not going away. They need PPE. There's a shortage. You can dress a healthcare worker for $15 to $20. All you got to do is tune in to twitch.tv/WeJustLoveGames. Scroll right down below Rick there. The In It Together link is there. We accept PayPal and credit cards. So far, we have raised $2,696.69, which is amazing. And it's an ongoing battle. We're going to continue to stream and take in funds for this. Thank you, everybody, for your support.
And Vendor, if we would like to check out your solo streams or your non We Just Love Game streams, where would we find those?
Oh, it's just twitch.tv/Vendortron. So
thank you.
I'll be streaming tomorrow for St. Jude's, I think, on Sea of Thieves, which is cancer-related charity. But I'm gonna try and sneak in some In It Together COVID-19 relief. So
lovely. Nice. Thank you guys all so much. Let me just roll through the outro.
Shalene, real quick. You are now roped into Sunday's hunt.
I am? Mm-hmm. You did the thing, didn't you?
I did.
Nice. Did the thing. Okay. Okay. I'll install. We'll do the thing. Email us. So fun. Email us at info@wejustlovegames.com. info@wejustlovegames.com. Find us all on Twitter. You can find the network at We Just Love Games. You can find the Dames Who Game podcast at Dames Who Game. I'm Shalene L, SHALINEL. Rick is Rick McVick. Vendortron is Vendortron N. Jess is at Sleep is for T. Sleep is for the letter T. And Jen is at Pantagruelia, PANTAGRUELIA. Did I spell it right?
Yes, you did.
Okay, yes. And Sarah is at Vosselsa, VOSSLSA. Sherry is at Foxsyd, FOXSYD. And Sarah Saylor is at Sarah_Saylor, SAR_SAYLOR. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/WeJustLoveGames or the group at facebook.com/group/WeJustLoveGames. Dames Who Game also has a page, facebook.com/Dames Who Game. Join the We Just Love Games Discord, which is a lovely, lovely place. You can find that here on our Twitch page, whether or not we are live. Alternately, you can message us on social media for a link. We'll send you a link. We record the show live at 6:30 Mountain Time, 8:30 Eastern Time every Friday. We're here with either Gamestack or That Fallout Show on twitch.tv/WeJustLoveGames. We're on iTunes, YouTube, Stitcher Radio, Spotify, iHeartRadio, all those good places. Please like, subscribe, and review. It helps the show to grow. Thank you so much for listening. Do we have a last word?
I think Rick's mouth noises earlier. How about onomatopoeia? Brought to you by Scuttle.
Lovely. Thank you all. Have a good night.